You can't forget about this one. Blaze Salter hits number 5, and the Newport Gulls retake the lead.
This is the Newport Gulls pregame show, live from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island.
Gone! A grand slam! Drew Luckbauer, right tower power, and the Gulls walk off in the 15th inning!
Coming up, interviews, stats, standings, lineups, and a whole lot more.
Tomas steps in the back for one out, throws to first, it is in time, a double play.
And that one is gone! Joey Abner!
A high drive, left field deep. Bolzano going back, looking up. This ball is a two-run homer. TJ Jones hits it out.
Stay tuned. The pregame show begins now on the NECBL Broadcast Network. In his first year covering Newport Gulls baseball, here is play-by-play broadcaster Darren Zaslow.
It is Christmas in July night here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, as the Newport Gulls host the Mystic Schooners here at 6:35 p.m. Darren Zaslow with you here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Mystic is 11-7 entering play here tonight, coming off a 7-4 loss against the Danbury Westerners last night. Mystic's offense has been getting going recently, with John Trousdale, the infielder out of Alabama, leading Mystic in hitting and leading the NECBL in hitting with a .412 batting average. Mystic looks to get him going here tonight. Newport, on the other hand, the Gulls are 6-13 entering play. Here tonight, the Gulls were rained out against the Winnipesaukee Muskrats this past Saturday in the top half of the first inning. Newport took a 2-0 lead over the Muskrats in that ball game before the rain fell hard in the Laconia, New Hampshire area. Newport was given those 2 runs off a 2-run home run by Andrew Dashback, the product out of Stanford, was named the NECBL Player of the Week for his efforts. Dashback is currently hitting .380. That is good for number 3 in the NECBL. It is Newport and Mystic here tonight at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. The Newport Gulls pregame show starts right now.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm Shannon O'Connell here with JC Flowers for the Gulls Insider. Now, JC, you just came in from Omaha. How was that?
It was a great experience. We had a tough run in the College World Series, but it was just a blessing to be out there.
All right, so last week I talked to fellow Seminole Nick Durr, who's also on the Gulls. How does it make the transition easier knowing somebody already on the team?
You know, even if he wasn't on the team, just to be able to be out here in Rhode Island, the weather's beautiful, being able to play with a great group of guys is just fun.
So what was it like being a starter as a freshman at Florida State?
It was a blessing, and it was also tough just being shot out there from the get-go and having to perform, but I feel like I handled it well.
So what did you learn from your coaches at Florida State that you'll hope to use this summer?
Just to play with a more upbeat attitude. I felt like my freshman year I don't want to say lazy, just like I had a charisma about me where I was just laid back, but just to play the game 100%.
All right. So you came in right before Friday's game. You've been here for a few days. What do you think of Newport so far?
It's nice. The weather's nice. The people are nice, so I'm just enjoying myself out here.
All right, and you have tomorrow off. What are you going to do for the 4th?
Probably just hang out with my teammates and eat.
All right, sounds good. The pregame show continues next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It is time for the Broadcasters Roundtable. Darren Zaslow with you. Here to my left is Newport Gulls field reporter Dave Peck, and to my right, the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Almer. Dave, I'll start with you. Newport 6-13, entering play here tonight after a rainout on Saturday at Winnipesaukee. Andrew Dashback gave Newport a 2-0 lead early on in that ball game with a 2-run home run on the top of the first. The rain comes down. Newport gets an off day out of that. Seems like the Gulls are pretty well rested coming into tonight's contest.
Rest should not be an issue. We've had about 3 or 4 rainouts so far this season, and they, before that, played on Friday night and lost a tough one in extra innings, one that they most likely, I'm not going to say they should have won it, but they had their chances. A couple bases loaded situations with nobody out. The 2, 3, and 4 batters, heart of the lineup for the Gulls, struck out and left the bases loaded, and they ended up losing that game by a score of 9-4. So you look for them to bounce back. I think it's been enough time, so they've kind of been able to reset, get ready for Mystic, and put together a good ball game.
You bring up the rainouts, already won against Keene, now won against Winnipesaukee, so 2 more games on the back end of this NECBL regular season schedule. Do you think that bodes well at all for this new look team?
I think that's a great point. I think having those games rained out in a time where maybe the team isn't playing as well as everyone thinks they should, or even they think they should, maybe you push those games back a few weeks and we start to get hot. Late July, things happen. You got a couple more extra games that mean a few more. And then maybe you can put together some more wins in a time where maybe earlier in the season you would not have.
Andrew Dashbach named the NECBL Player of the Week. The Stanford product is currently hitting .380, which is number 3 in the league with 4 home runs. What have you seen from Dashbach here so far, Dave?
He's just had a really great approach at the plate. I think that's the biggest thing. He's been able to find his pitches and attack them. And a lot of times when hitters are struggling, it's because they're being a little bit too picky, a little bit too patient, and they're, for lack of a better phrase, on their back foot. And the pitcher's kind of going right at him with everything, playing defensive offense, I guess you could say. Dash has been doing a really great job at going after the pitches he sees. He's been green light, ready to go, ready to make contact, and putting the ball in play and making the opposing players, try and put him out.
Well, Jack, speaking of NECBL Players of the Week, Mystic had the Pitcher of the Week here in the NECBL, Kevin Chandler out of UC Santa Barbara. How important has he been to the Schooners pitching staff this year?
Well, he really just kind of came on for Mystic. He made his first appearance of the year, actually in relief against Newport. It was 1-inning pitch. He threw 2 strikeouts and allowed 0 runs, but got his first start, and it was only his second appearance of the year, and he just exploded against Plymouth. Went 7 innings, struck out 6, but the most important thing was, aside from allowing no runs, he only faced 23 batters, so he was very efficient, and that limited pitch count really helped him go far into that outing, and it was the longest outing we've seen by a Mystic starting pitcher yet this season.
Speaking of Mystic pitching, it has been excellent this season for the Schooners, a 2.84 team ERA. That is the second best in the league. Jack, talk to me about what you've seen from this pitching staff.
Well, really, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys in the bullpen. We've had so many pitchers who are able to come out and place scoreless innings on opposing teams, and that's been huge down the stretch. Mystic has a lot of young starting pitchers, so these guys are still working through some of their mechanics, things like that, becoming better players. But then when you have a bullpen who can give you that relief, it allows your offense to sometimes get back into games and help them get wins. So guys like Trevor Holmes, Turner French, they've been huge, allowing Mystic to stay in ball games, and that's been part of the key to why they sit at second place in the Southern Division.
With those 11 wins, Mystic has been playing consistent baseball. Someone who's helped them play consistently on the diamond. How about John Trousdale? The Alabama product is hitting .412. That leads the NECBL. And Jack, how important has he been to this lineup as well?
Oh, he's been huge. I mean, he came on to the beginning of the year. He was hitting sub .300. Mystic was 2-5 through his first 7 games. Then through a 3-game stretch, he just exploded on the scene, hit 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, was 8 of 12 from the plate. That was huge over those 3 games, and he just hasn't looked back. He's reaching base at a 5.38 clip. So over half the time he comes up, he's getting on base. He has a consecutive streak of now 17 games where every game he's gotten an at-bat in, he's been able to get on base one way or another. He's just been absolutely phenomenal for the Schooners, really broken out as one of their best players this year.
It's Newport and Mystic first pitch set for 6:35 p.m. For Dave Peck and Jack Ulmer, I'm Darren Zaslow. The Newport Gulls pregame show continues next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm alongside Shannon O'Connell, Media Relations Specialist, Coordinator. I don't know what you call it. She does it all, folks. Tell us, what does that position mean to you? What have you been up to for the past 2 summers?
Well, last year my position officially was the Media Relations Coordinator, so I did pregame interviews, all social media, pretty much did whatever kind of they asked me to do. I'd be up in the booth sometimes, but this year I'm like a Media Relations volunteer because I'm only going to be for part of the season. So I kind of just do the same thing. I show up and I do what they tell me to.
So out of all the responsibilities you had in the 2 years you were here, camera, social media, on the broadcast a few times, put the headset on, what was your favorite?
I always enjoyed my pregame interviews. Probably Ask a Goal was probably my favorite because, they're a little bit less serious, so they're more fun questions, and the guys, they get more into it. It's really fun.
Do you have any special interview or favorite interview in the time you were here that really stands out to you?
Probably last year when Jake Broke conducted Ask a Goal. He came up to me and he was like, "Hey, can I do Ask a Goal?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I cleared it with the other guys, and it was really fun. There ended up being like 6 or 7 players there at one point. I don't actually know what happened. It just kind of turned into something, but it's really fun. I still watch it sometimes and I laugh.
So you're used to being the one doing the interviews. Yeah. Is this weird? You're getting interviewed right now. What's going through your head?
Yeah, it's pretty weird. I don't really know what to do with myself. I don't know what to do with my hands because I'm used to having my
holding the mic.
Yeah, and then my little notepad that has my questions on it. So I don't know what to do.
So you're headed out on Wednesday, I believe. And where are you going and what are you up to?
I'm actually starting my real job. I'm moving to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm going to be working with the Charlotte Sports Foundation. It's a nonprofit that does the Belk College kickoff game, the ACC basketball tournament, and just like bowl games. It tries to increase the sport awareness in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Well, we're certainly all going to miss Shannon here at Cardines Field. Shannon, congratulations on 2 great seasons. It's sad to see you go, but best of luck in your next endeavor.
Thank you.
The pregame show continues next here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It is time for the Coaches Report. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Newport Gulls assistant coach Eric Degree. Eric, you look at this Newport team right now, 6-13. We're about halfway done here with the regular season during the 2017 season. What do you look for half number 2 for this Newport team to improve on?
Well, I'm looking for guys to come together as a team and start competing together. We've definitely had some holes here and there, but we've had guys want to compete. As we can continue through July, which July is, of course, the most important part of the month, the most important month of the season, we need guys to compete day in and day out. So whether it's going to be at the plate, on the mound, or defensively, or on the base pass, we need guys to compete.
Let's talk about how this team has been doing at the plate. A .221 team batting average. That is the worst in the New England Collegiate Baseball League. Eric, what does this team need to do to turn it around offensively?
Well, I'm going to tell you, actually, we also need some luck. The ball that has eyes to try to get through the hole, because we've actually started to really hit the baseball hard, but at people or other players are making great plays. All we can control is our mindset when we get into the at bat. Hit the baseball hard and see what happens.
For the team's pitching staff, a 4.40 team ERA. It's a number that has been going down, fair to say.
It has been going down, and now actually we've had a couple of rainouts here and days off, so our bullpen is ready to go. Our starters are nice and fresh, and they understand the guys behind them, they're going to compete for them. We're going to get after it as a team. Of course, it always starts on the bump with our pitcher throwing strikes. I think tonight you're going to see that, and we're going to have a great baseball game here.
It's a huge ball game here tonight. Newport and Mystic, first pitch set for 6:35 p.m. here from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. For Eric Degree, I'm Darren Zaslow. Newport Gulls baseball is up next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the Newport Gulls pregame show on the NECBL Broadcast Network. My name is Cam McGuire, and I'm joined alongside by Kyle Mora. Kyle, what's it been like playing baseball this summer in Newport? Tell me about your experience a little bit.
It's definitely been fun. It's a good time around here. It's a really nice neighborhood surrounding, and all the host families have been great. So, we haven't played very well, but the fans keep coming out and being supportive and being loud and coming to all the games and stuff. So it's been fun.
6-13 in June, first game in July, fresh start. What do you guys need to do in July in order to make a push here?
Really we need to minimize the big innings. We've been pitching pretty well, except we have an inning or two throughout the game where things kind of get out of hand, whether it's a couple errors or mistakes on the defense or us not making pitches. So the pitching staff is turning around. We've done a lot better lately, and the offense just keeps swinging the way they have been.
You just finished your freshman year at UCLA. You're a Cali boy. What was it like playing college ball in Cali, and was that always the dream to do that?
Definitely wanted to stay pretty close. whether that was in California or just a West Coast team in general. But UCLA is an amazing program. I loved being there. I love the school. Not really a mistake at all. I don't think there's really been a downside. I've loved every part of it so far.
So Christmas in July here at Cardines Field. Got to ask you a couple Christmas questions. Favorite movie?
Definitely Home Alone. Only the first one, though. The other ones kind of fall off after that.
And last but not least, favorite song?
Man, probably Jingle Bells. It's a pretty easy one.
Think we could get a little tune from you, Jingle Bells?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
That's Kyle Mora, folks, and I'm Cam McGuire, and the Newport Gulls pregame show continues next on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Once again, here's Darren Zaslow and the Newport Gulls broadcast team.
It is Christmas in July night here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, as the Newport Gulls host the Mystic Schooners here in the Southern Division of the New England Collegiate Baseball League. Darren Zaslow with you here. To my left, Newport Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Mystic Schooners, and Jack Almer. And to my right is Gulls field reporter Cam McGuire. We are all here with you in the broadcast booth located behind home plate here at Cardines Field. It's the Newport Gulls and the Mystic Schooners. A huge game for both of these ball clubs. Mystic is 11-7 entering play here tonight, coming off a 7-4 loss against Danbury last night. Mystic led offensively by John Trousdale, the infielder from Alabama. He has been incredible this year. A .412 batting average, leads the New England Collegiate Baseball League. And Jack, when you take a look at Trousdale here for this Mystic offense that has been up and down this year, how important has he been to this lineup?
Well, I mean, it's been huge, and what you can really look at is the Schooners' win-loss record when he started performing at this pace versus, when he was still sort of figuring things out earlier in the year. Schooners were 2-5 while he was hitting under 300. Once Trousdale really started to find his own here in this NECBL, Schooners have a 9-2 record. So that just shows you how much they've improved with his play, and having a major offensive production, a guy that you can count on to give you that night in and night out, has just been huge for this team, and it's launched them into this NECBL Southern Division playoff race.
We talk about this Mystic offense. Well, it has certainly been up and down. A .236 team average. That is the third worst in the NECBL. Cam, for Newport, it's a team that's hitting .221 right now. That is the worst in the NECBL, but Andrew Dashbach has really helped out this Newport team. The Stanford product was named the NECBL Player of the Week. Cam, when you look at this ball game here tonight against Mystic, how big is this one?
This one's huge. First game of July starting off, and obviously things didn't go the way the Gulls wanted to in June. There were some promising games at times, and we saw the bats get heavy at points, but I think consistency is going to be the biggest thing going forward. This team needs to be consistent night in and night out in order to make the push for the playoffs here as we end towards the season.
Newport is 6-13. Mystic is 11-7. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll take you around the NECBL scoreboard from last night and the current standings. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we welcome you into the broadcast here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. It is Christmas in July night as the Newport Gulls host the Mystic Schooners. Free family admission is given to all fans who bring a new toy here to Cardines Field, courtesy of Newport Gulls baseball. Mystic is 11-7 entering play. Newport 6-13. A huge game here tonight for both of these Southern Division teams, and that will kick it over to Cam McGuire, Newport Gulls field reporter, for a look around last night's NECBL scoreboard and the current standings.
Yeah, 10 teams in action last night. The Vermont Mountaineers defeated North Adams Steeplecats 3-2. Sanford Mainers came out on top against the Winnipesaukee Muskrats 4-3. The Ocean State Waves defeated the New Bedford Bay Sox 2-0. Keene Swamp Bats swamped the Valley Blue Sox 6-0. And the Danbury Westerners came out on top against the Mystic Schooners 7-4. A look around the standings here, starting in the Northern Division. The Upper Valley Nighthawks are 13-5 in first place. The Valley Blue Sox are 12-7, a game and a half behind. The Keene Swamp Bats 8-10, 5 games back. North Adams and Winnipesaukee are 8-11, as the Vermont Mountaineers are 7-11, and at the bottom of the division, the Sanford Mainers are 6-15. Looking over at the Southern Division, Ocean State still holds the lead at 14-4. The Mystic Schooners are in second, along with the Danbury Westerners, as they're both 3 games back from first place. Plymouth Pilgrims are 500, 10-10, 5 games back from first place. The New Bedford Bay Sox are 8-11, which puts them 6.5 games back off the lead. And the Newport Gulls are 6-13 at the bottom of that Southern Division.
Thank you so much, Cam. Well, as you can see on your screen in front of you, first pitches are being thrown out here tonight by Jennifer Barrera, Ian Barrera, Susan Ersling, and Kathleen Hanlon here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Once again, it is Christmas in July night here at the ballpark. Free family admission is being given to all fans who bring a new toy here to Cardines Field, courtesy of Newport Gulls Baseball. When we come back, we will bring you the national anthem here before the starting lineups and first pitch between Newport and Mystic. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. We're just about ready for first pitch here between the Mystic Schooners and the Newport Gulls. For Newport, this is game number 20 of the 44-game regular season schedule here in the New England Collegiate Baseball League. And for Mystic, this is game number 19 of the Schooners regular season. So we really are just about halfway here in the regular season. Jack, we've talked about how important this game is for both teams. When I kind of look at how this schedule is structured here in the NECBL, June is kind of that month where teams kind of find their identities. July is really the start to this playoff push, if that's what you want to call it. Especially as we go into the back half here of this season, you know, that is why these games are so important, and especially with the NECBL now making it the top 3 teams on each side making the postseason, that makes this game count even more.
Definitely. It puts a lot of pressure on individual teams to start winning earlier on. You know, with the 4 playoff team setup, had some teams who are below that 500 mark even who are getting into the playoffs. Now, with just the first 3 teams, it really puts pressure to, you know, win now. And the Schooners are really feeling that. And with the way that their schedule is set up, particularly, hit a lot of games get rained out, pushed back due to weather. So they have a whole stretch of games with not a lot of off days, a stretch of 10 coming up here after the 4th of July. And then later in this season, they have 2 doubleheaders coming up. They've already played 1 doubleheader this year against Ocean State. So a lot of baseball to be played for this team, and you wonder how that will affect them physically as we get into the grind of this NECBL season, but hopefully Schooners can pull it off, and a win here would be huge to start that off.
We'll now send it down to field level here at Cardines Field for the national anthem to be sung by Megan Kominski. This is Christmas in July night here at the ballpark.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
beautiful national anthem sung by Megan Kaminsky here as Newport hosts the Mystic Schooners here tonight at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Don't go anywhere. Starting lineups and first pitch is coming up next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Looking for stats, scores, and highlights from your favorite NECBL?
We are just about ready for baseball here in the New England Collegiate Baseball League. It's a Southern Division matchup between the Mystic Schooners and the Newport Gulls. Darren Zaslow with you here. To my left, Newport Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Almer, and to my right, Newport Gulls field reporter Cam McGuire. We are all here with you in the broadcast booth located behind home plate. Mystic is 11-7 entering play here tonight. Newport is 6-13. And to take you through the starting lineup for the Mystic Schooners, here is the voice of the Schooners, Jack Almer.
Thank you. Nick Michelli out of Wagner College will lead things off at second base. John Trousdale from the University of Alabama batting second and shortstop. Tommy Jew from UC Santa Barbara in the third hole in center field. Brian Ray from Miami-Dade College batting cleanup out in left field. Phil Capra out of Wagner will be doing the catching. Ryan Ramez from Seton Hall out in right field, followed by Ryan Solomon, the third baseman from Northeastern. Andrew Gazzola from Stony Brook will be DHing, while Chris Winkle, the first baseman out of UConn, will be in the 9-hole.
They're going to go to work against Newport's starting pitcher here tonight on the mound. They're going to go to the southpaw in Eric Miller. In games that Eric Miller has started this year for Newport, the Gulls are outscoring their opponents 37-6. Eric Miller, once again, left-handed pitcher out of Stanford, 2-0 this year, a 1.93 ERA. He's been great. He's thrown 9.1 innings here thus far. He's given up 7 hits, 9 strikeouts, and 8 walks. Newport's starting lineup looks like this for second-year manager Al Leyva. Leading off is the left fielder out of Missouri, Cameron Meisner. Batting second, the first baseman from Stanford, Andrew Dashbach. He's the NECBL Player of the Week, hitting .380. Dominic DiRenzo makes his first start. He'll be behind home plate, catching the balls and strikes. He is out of Oklahoma. And the cleanup spot is Tyler Green. He mans the hot corner at third base. He's from Vanderbilt. The designated hitter is Ty Duvall, also out of Vanderbilt, hitting fifth. Batting sixth, the second baseman from Florida State, Nick Durr. In the number 7 spot, the center fielder out of Florida State, J.C. Flowers, makes his first start. Rounding in the 8 hole is the shortstop Carter Aldretti out of Arizona State, making his first start at shortstop this year. And rounding out the Newport lineup is the right fielder out of Fairfield, Drew Archiolo. And the Newport Gulls will face off against a southpaw out of Princeton, Ryan Smith.
And Ryan Smith, only 2 starts on the year. His other appearances came in relief. He's played in 4 games so far, and he's been a whole lot better actually coming in with relief pitching than he has starting games. In games that he started, he's pitched 8 games and given up a total of 8 hits with 5 runs. In games that he's come in as a reliever, he's pitched 3 1/3 innings, allowed no hits and no runs with 8 strikeouts compared to the 3 strikeouts he had in the 2 games which he started. So he's hoping for a bounce-back game on the mound, starting things off for the Schooners here. Hopefully that time in the bullpen helped him find his groove and he can get things going back as a starting pitcher.
Your umpires here tonight at the ballpark. Robert McHugh is behind home plate and also on the bags. Alec Lina and DJ Nadu. And, of course, here in Newport, Rhode Island, your weather, 76 degrees, partly cloudy skies, just 7-mile-per-hour winds. There you can see on your screen in front of you that American flag slightly waving, located down the right field line next to the scoreboard. Your starting defensive alignment for the Newport Gulls looks like this. From left to right around the Newport infield, Tyler Green is at third base. Carter Aldretti makes his first start at shortstop this season. Nick Durr is at second base. Andrew Dashbach is at first. From left to right along the Newport outfield, Cameron Meisner is in left field. J.C. Flowers in center. Drew Archiolo is in right field. Catching the balls and strikes from Eric Miller is Dom DiRenzo. We'll also take you through the field dimensions here at the ballpark before we get things going. Down the left field line, 315 feet. Left center, 365. To deep center field, it's 395. 340 to right center field and 285 feet down the right field line. Of course, there are 2 deep triangles here located at the ballpark due to the structures here of the fences. One is located in center field, and one is located in right center field. And there, once again, you can see those on the screen in front of you. Newport dressed in their home white uniforms with Gulls written in blue, outlined in orange from left to right. The numbers on the front and the back of the jersey are blue, outlined in orange as well. The Gulls wear white pants with a blue and orange stripe down the sides. Mystic dressed in their road light blue tops with Mystic written in black from left to right. The numbers on the front and the back of the jersey are white, outlined in black. The Schooners also wear gray pants as well with a stripe down the side. Eric Miller toes the rubber. He winds and fires the first pitch to Nick Michelli. It's a fastball taken off the plate for ball one. First pitch here thrown at 6:40 p.m.
Nick Michelli played out of position yesterday against the Danbury Westerners. He was over in the hot corner at third base trying to give him a break from the taxing position of second base, though. In that new position, he committed 4 errors on the day, 3 of which resulted in the Danbury Westerners scoring runs.
Gets a swing and a miss there. Count 2 balls and 1 strike there. Miller going back to the elevated fastball. Tucks that black glove about shoulder high as he gets the sign from Dorenzo. He winds and fires the 2-1. Change-up, weak ground ball to shortstop. Charging in is Aldretti. Fields on the run, throw to first in time. 1 away, 6-3. Nick Michelli is retired on 4 pitches.
Nice reaction there by Carter Aldretti. He came at that ball, made a nice pickup, and the throw over to first was in time to beat a hustling Nick Michelli. He always runs hard down that first base line. Aldretti in time to beat him.
So here is John Trousdale, the shortstop out of Alabama. He has been great this year for Mystic. Leads the Schooners and the NECBL in hitting with a .412 batting average. He bats from the left side here against Miller. First pitch on the way from the southpaw. Hard fastball taken below the knees for ball 1.
And great might even be an understatement for how well he's produced offensively for the Schooners. Trousdale has yet to not reach base in a game during which he's had an at-bat.
1-0 fastball called strike there on the outside corner. 1-1. We are in the top half of the first. 1 out, the base is empty. Still scoreless here between Newport and Mystic here on Christmas in July night. The 1-1 for Miller. Curveball in there for strike 2. Once again, outside corner at the knees.
And Trousdale with a .538 OBP. That's actually down from a .552 mark he had just a couple games ago. This kid is reaching base over half the times he gets up to the plate.
1-2 fouled off left side. We will do it again. Of course, many unique features here at Cardines Field. One of the most unique features, the hockey-style dugouts located down the first base line. Newport's dugout closer to home plate. Mystic's dugout closer to first base. There you can see it on your screen in front of you.
And the first time the Schooners visited Newport, a warning from assistant coach Steve Leonetti about those hockey-style dugouts makes for some chirping between two squads.
Makes it interesting, that's for sure, as Miller misses high there with a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes here on the shortstop out of Alabama in John Trousdale. Break-even offering, curveball swung on and missed in the dirt. Great block by Dorenzo. He throws down the first in time for out number 2.
And it absolutely was a great block by Dorenzo. He kept that right in front of him and was able to make a calm throw over to first base to get Trousdale.
First strikeout of the contest for Eric Miller, the southpaw out of Stanford. Here's Tommy Jew, the center fielder out of UC Santa Barbara. He's hitting .265 entering play here tonight, 9 for 34. 6 runs scored, 2 RBI, and a walk. Looks at a fastball low and in for ball 1.
Jew also has a pair of homers to his name, both of which came in a June 26 matchup against Ocean State.
The wind, the fire there from Miller, fouled straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike.
The camera rattled a little bit. That ball came with some pop into the backstop off the bat of Jew.
And you'll see Miller work, of course, both sides of the plate with that fastball. Not afraid to work elevations either. Here's the 1-1. Changeup. This one popped in the air behind home plate, and foul ground it will get out of play. So Miller ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nick Michelli led off the inning with a ground out to shortstop. John Trousdale struck out. Sets the scene here for Tommy Jew. He works with a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Next offering. Fastball, strike 3 called outside corner. Tommy Jew goes down looking on strikes. Second strikeout of the ball game for Eric Miller. He retires the Schooners 1-2-3. For Mystic, no runs, no hits, no Newport errors, none left aboard. We will go to the bottom half of the first inning. Newport takes their first swings of the night when we come back right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
And now we welcome you back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. A perfect frame from Eric Miller. The southpaw out of Stanford retires the Schooners in order. 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts in the top half of the first. Newport looking to take an early lead here during their first swings of the night. We'll take you through the starting defensive alignment for the Mystic Schooners. It looks like this from left to right around the Schooner infield. For Mystic at third base, Ryan Solomon. The shortstop is John Trousdale. Nick Michelli is at second. Chris Winkle is at first. From left to right in the Mystic outfield, Brian Ray is in left field. Tommy Jew is in center field. Ryan Ramis is in right field. And catching the balls and strikes from Ryan Smith is Philip Capra. As the first pitch to Cameron Meisner is in there for a strike. It is 0-1. Nice job by Smith to get ahead.
Absolutely. And Smith has actually never started a game during his 2 seasons with Princeton. He did drastically improve, though, from his 2016 freshman campaign to his 2017 sophomore stint. He had over 20 more appearances, put his ERA all the way down from a 9.95 mark to a 3.82, had 35 strikeouts, just 13 walks.
Meisner swung through an 0-1 fastball to make it 0-2, but he takes a pitch inside. Here's the 1-2 curveball, misses upstairs and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Cameron Meisner, speedy left fielder out of Missouri, hitting .297 on the season. He's 19 for 64. Next pitch, fouled off left side. It will ricochet off the protective screening. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Meisner resides in Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
And you wonder with Ryan Smith if it's just a mental thing. Hasn't started a game in his college career, comes to the NCBL, has a couple of shaky starts, but really dominates in relief stints.
2-2 sharp ground ball to second, picked on the long hop there by Michelli. He gathers and throws out Meisner for out number 1.
But has been great for the Schooners when he's coming out of the bullpen, so hopefully he's kind of shaken that mental thing off and can get back to the form that we're used to seeing from him when he's coming out of the pen.
Well, here's the NECBL Player of the Week, Andrew Dashbach. He has been great for Newport this season. A .380 batting average. That's number 3 in the NECBL. He's 19 for 50 with 12 runs scored and 13 RBI. He also has 4 home runs this season. Looks at an inside fastball there for strike 1. It is 0-1 on Andrew Dashbach. Bottom 1 away, the base is empty. Mystic and Newport still scoreless here at Cardines Field. The 0-1 from Smith. Change up there, swung on and missed for strike 2.
Looks like Ryan Smith was able to fool Dashbach there, put a change up on the outside half, and he got Dashbach chasing for strike 2.
Smith out of Princeton. It's a Princeton-Stanford matchup, lefty-righty. Smith against Dashbach, 0-2. Fouled off the front foot of Dashbach there as the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Cameron Meisner led off the ball game with a ground out to second.
Dashbach, tough guy, fouls that one off his foot, doesn't even flinch. Just right back into the batter's box for him.
Smith holds the black glove just below the letters. He winds and fires the 0-2. Misses low and inside, went back to the fastball, 1-2.
That was a nice 0-2 pitch to throw. Something inside near the strike zone, trying to get Dashbach to bite. He holds up. Let's see what he can do with the rest of this at-bat.
1-2 offering. Curveball misses above the letters. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And while you look at Smith's numbers, 11 strikeouts and 11.1 innings pitched, a 3.97 ERA, good, very good numbers.
Absolutely. They're not bad numbers by any means.
2-2 swung on and missed there. Went to the outside curveball. Dashbach goes down on strikes. First strikeout for Smith. Here's Dominic Dorenzo, the catcher out of Oklahoma. This is his first start of the season. Does have a couple RBIs and a walk in pinch hit plate appearances.
And for Smith, it's not that he's putting up bad numbers this year. It's just the stark discrepancy between what he's been doing when he starts on the mound versus what he's done for Mystic when he's coming out of that bullpen.
Dorenzo steps into the right side. First pitch. Fastball taken about ankle high. It is 1-0 on Dominic Dorenzo. Hit .273 in limited games up in the Cape Cod League with the YD Red Sox. 1-0. Misses below the knees. 2 balls and no strikes. So here he is in Newport making his first start behind home plate. Gets ready for the 2-0 pitch here from Smith. It's on the way. And it misses low and inside. 3 balls and no strikes. Smith falling behind here with the fastball for the first time tonight.
Yeah, no, despite this 3-0 count, though, I've really liked his location. The balls he's thrown haven't missed by a mile by any means. They've been right by the zone. We'll see what he does here. That one right down the plate. But definitely working batters in these counts. He's not afraid to throw some balls that could get chased on. But I love where he's been able to put the balls so far in this at-bat.
3-1 elevated fastball swung on and missed there by DiRenzo. It's 3-2. And thus far for Smith, he has thrown 17 pitches, 10 for strikes. The payoff pitch, foul tipped into the mitt there of Capra, and the inning is over. For Smith, he retires Newport in order 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts in the frame. So there you see Eric Miller and Ryan Smith doing a nice job here on the mound early on for Newport. No runs, no hits, no mystic errors, none left aboard. We go to the top half of the second. Still scoreless between the Schooners and the Gulls. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. As we go to the top half of inning number 2, Newport and Mystic are scoreless. Both teams were retired in order 1, 2, 3. Eric Miller ready for his second inning of work. He will go to work against the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the Mystic lineup. Philip Capra, Brian Ray, Ryan Ramez, all due up here in the frame for the Schooners. Miller winds and deals the first pitch to Philip Capra. It is fouled off. As once again here, Jack Miller continuing to get ahead.
Absolutely. He's really attacked batters, has not been afraid to come at these Mystic hitters, and doing so here to Capra, who, though he's only in his second NECBL game of the year, hit .351 in 2017 for Wagner College.
He's 0 for 3 entering tonight. Takes a big swing and a miss there at an inside fastball, also elevated in the zone. 0-2 on the cleanup hitter out of Wagner in Philip Capra. The 0-2 from Miller on the way. Fastball misses below the knees and a tad outside. 1-2.
Miller was very close to getting Capra to chase on that one, too. He check swings, but holds up just in time to avoid the strikeout.
Next offering. Changeup misses in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Both Miller and Smith have 2 strikeouts apiece thus far.
Seems like we're in for another Newport Mystic pitchers duel.
We'll see. Break-even delivery for Miller on the way. Fastball misses low and in the dirt. And the count pushes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The first full count that we have seen here tonight.
Nice eye by Capra. He actually took 31 walks as a member of Wagner College's squad in 2017. That was to 22 strikeouts.
Payoff pitch grounded to third. Picked there on the short hop by Green. Sets his feet. Throw to first. Will retire Capra by 2 steps. 1 away. 5-3 if you are scoring with us at home as Capra is retired. Here's the left fielder, Brian Ray, out of Miami-Dade. Ray hitting .222 on the season. He is 12 for 54. With 5 runs scored and 6 RBI. He has also walked 3 times and has struck out 8 times.
And Brian Ray is really starting to turn into the player that Mystic expected him to be when he came out of Miami-Dade College. Last year he hit .404 for the Sharks with a .450 OBP.
Goes to the backdoor curveball there. It's a strike on the outside. Black 0-1. Miller doing a nice job here, getting ahead of hitters. 0-1. Curveball, line drive. The shortstop Aldretti. He makes the play, and there's 2 away.
And, if Aldretti was a couple feet to the left or right, that's a nice hit, but straight into the glove of the shortstop Connor Aldretti.
So here's Ryan Ramez, the right fielder out of Seton Hall. Ramez, a .333 batting average, 12 for 36, 8 runs scored, 3 RBI, 7 walks, and 5 strikeouts. He bats from the left side. First pitch fastball. Close to the zone, but misses just off the inner edge. It's 1-0 on Ramez, who bats in the number 6 spot.
Ramez was held without a hit for the first time in this NECBL game. That it snaps a 10-game hitting streak from Ramez. Danbury in the 7-4 loss was the first to hold him hitless.
Miller misses low again with another fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. He falls behind Ramez. Swings the all black bat from the left side, 2-0. Change up. Once again, misses low and away. So Miller here falls behind 3-0 on the Seton Hall product.
First time we've seen him do that in this game. Miller's been usually very conservative with his pitches.
3-0 fastball gets that one over on the outside corner for strike one. Now 3-1 on Ramez. Third baseman Green plays about 2 steps to his left. Pretty ordinary positioning there as Ramez skies this one foul left side, out of play, 3-2. We are awaiting the payoff pitch between Eric Miller and Ryan Ramez.
Wasn't able to get enough wood on that one, just chips it straight up in the air and over the press box here.
Miller working quickly, the payoff pitch, curveball runs high and inside for ball 4. So the first base runner for either team comes here in the top half of the second. It's a 2-out walk to Ryan Ramez. Brings up the third baseman Ryan Solomon out of Northeastern. Solomon 6 for 30, a 200 batting average. He has 4 runs scored, 8 RBI, and 6 walks. He will bat from the right side. Represents the number 7 spot in the Schooners lineup. Off of first is Ramez, a pretty big lead over there, about 10 feet. First pitch, fastball, misses wide of the zone for ball 1. So we'll see what they want to do with Ramez here. Maybe put him in motion with a couple outs. We'll see how they want to play it, but pretty big lead over there. He's held on by Dashbach. Once again, about 11 feet. The 1-0. Fastball fouled straight back, 1-1.
And Ramez does have some speed to him. Perhaps Mystic just wants to see what kind of pitcher they're working with in Miller. He is interested in throwing those pickoff attempts, but Ramez has 4 stolen bases to his name through 11 games this year.
Top 2, a runner on first, 2 outs. We're still scoreless between Mystic and Newport as Miller misses low in the zone with a fastball there. Runs the count to 2 balls and 1 strike on Ryan Solomon out of Northeastern. Wears the black and white batting gloves. He swings the all-black bat, the bent knees, the squared stance, 2-1. Once again, fouled straight back, 2-2. Thus far for Miller through 1 2/3 innings of work, he has thrown 32 pitches. 18 of them have been for strikes. 2-2 offering, misses high. And the count runs full to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Ramez will be off with the pitch. It will force the Newport infield to throw across the first on a ground ball.
I thought he was going to go on that last one. He had a decent-sized lead. Coming straight out of the crouch was DiRenzo, and there goes Ramez. He'll come back to first. A lot of speed over on first base. Something for the Newport Gulls to watch out for.
Neither team has recorded a hit yet. Mystic and Newport were both retired in order in the first innings offensively. Ramez goes, the payoff pitch. This one's skied in the air, foul behind home plate. It will get out of play. So a nice at-bat here by Ryan Solomon.
Definitely, he's battled himself into this 3-2 count and now keeping himself alive with a pair of foul balls.
We'll see what Miller decides to go with here for the payoff pitch. It is pitch number 36 we are awaiting. It's on the way. Ramez goes, swing and a miss. Elevated fastball. Nice job, Eric Miller, for out number 3. Third strikeout of the contest for the Stanford left-handed pitcher in Eric Miller. And for Mystic, they send 4 hitters to the plate. They get no runs on no hits, leave 1 aboard with no Newport errors. We go to the bottom half of inning number 2. Still scoreless between Mystic and Newport right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
As we go to the bottom half of inning number 2, Newport and Mystic are still scoreless here on Christmas in July night here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Fans who bring a free toy to the ball game will be given free admission to tonight's contest, courtesy of Newport Gulls baseball. Here is Tyler Green, steps into the right side. Takes a fastball at the knees for strike 1. Green is at third base, batting in the cleanup spot out of Vanderbilt. And entering tonight's game, Green hitting .271. Looks at a curveball there. Ankle high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Green 16 for 59 with 10 runs scored and 11 RBI.
Tyler Green, one of the more consistent players for either team, really, the Gulls especially.
He's been in that 270, 280 batting average range since back to June 20th against Danbury. That's 14 games. He's maintained a pretty steady average.
Looks at a strike there, 1-2. Fastball at the knees for strike 3. Down looking goes Green. Third strikeout of the contest for the Princeton left-hander and Ryan Smith. There's one away here in the bottom half of the second for the designated hitter out of Vanderbilt, Ty Duvall. He has been excellent thus far for Newport. 13 for 41. He's hitting .317. 6 runs scored and 4 RBI. Resides in Lebanon, Ohio. First pitch to Duvall. Fastball very close to the strike zone, but just misses outside for ball 1.
And on that last pitch where Tyler Green got caught looking for the strikeout, you can see he really wasn't a fan of that call. A little disappointed heading back to the dugout.
1-0, misses low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Duvall swings the all royal blue bat from the left side. Wears the black and gray batting gloves. Next pitch, line drive into the glove of Winkle there at first base for out number 2. A well-struck baseball there by Ty Duvall, but right at Winkle.
Yeah, the way it came off the bat, it sounded like we finally had our first hit of this ball game, but goes straight into the glove of Chris Winkle, similar to what happened to Connor Aldretti on a flyout by Brian Ray in the previous inning.
2 lineouts here already in this inning, one by either team. Here's Nick Durr, the second baseman out of Florida State, looks at a fastball high for ball 1. Durr, a very talented player. He will ground this one sharply past the dive of the second baseman, Michelli. In a right field, a base hit. First hit of the night for either team. This one comes off the bat of Nick Durr. He's aboard for J.C. Flowers, making his first Newport Gulls plate appearance here tonight.
And Nick Michelli really tried to range over and grab that one, just not in time on the dive. And we have our first hit in this contest here in the second inning. We'll see if the Gulls can do anything with it.
So here's J.C. Flowers, hit .235 and 67 starts for Florida State this year. Bats from the right side. First pitch misses high in the zone for ball 1. Flowers also had 4 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs, 32 RBI. Had an on-base percentage of .359 for the Seminoles, as Smith will check up there on Durr over at first base. He's back in safely.
Nick Durr, a stolen base to his name already this year. We'll see if he goes with his Florida State teammate up to bat.
Next pitch to Flowers. Fastball in there for a strike. It is 1-1 on J.C. Flowers. Nick Durr over there at first base, a 2016 33rd round draft pick to the Cincinnati Reds last year. 1-1 to Flowers in there for strike 2, another fastball. J.C. Flowers out of Florida State trying to do some damage. Flowers drafted also by the Cincinnati Reds last year in the 18th round.
Pair of Seminoles, pair of Cincinnati Reds.
How about that? 1-2 from Smith. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 4th strikeout of the night for the southpaw out of Stanford and Ryan Smith. Newport gets their first hit of the ball game. A single off the bat of Nick Durr with 2 away, with the Gulls cannot get him across home plate. For Newport, no runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard with no mystic errors. We will go to the top half of the third here in the Southern Division class here on Christmas in July night at Cardines Field. It's Newport and Mystic, still scoreless. Don't go anywhere. More baseball coming up next. As we go to the top half of inning number 3 here on the NECBL Broadcast Network, we are still scoreless between Mystic and Newport. Hitters 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Schooners. Andrew Gazzola, Chris Winkle, Nick Michelli, all to face Eric Miller, who enters his 3rd full frame of work. As Gazzola steps in, looks at a high fastball for ball 1. He's a designated hitter out of Stony Brook. He will lift this one in the air. Shallow center field, moving out to his left is Aldretti, the shortstop. He makes the play on the move for out number 1. 2 pitches and 1 out. Miller has been very efficient here tonight.
Absolutely, and both of these pitchers have just been on fire through the first 2 innings. We saw just 1 hit allowed and 7 strikeouts.
pretty much puts it into perspective.
Yeah,
for you.
exactly.
It kind of has that pitcher's duel vibe here early on for sure. Here's the first baseman, Chris Winkle, out of UConn. He's hitting 151 this season. He is 8 for 53. Squares the bunt, sees the pitch in the dirt, and pulls back for ball one. We are in the top half of the third. One away. The base is empty. Newport and Mystic still scoreless here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. As Miller gets his sign from Dorenzo. Next pitch misses downstairs, 2-0. Miller falls behind, and even if Miller does fall behind, Jack, he's found a way to work back in the count.
Absolutely. He issued that one walk to Ryan Ramez, but other than that has just been really solid getting back in counts and throwing strikes when he needs to.
This one is fouled off there by Miller. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. Dominic Dorenzo there behind home plate.
Watching Chris Winkle in batting practice earlier today, getting a hold of some balls, sending them deep. He really does have a lot of power behind his bat when he can get it. Out of his 8 hits this season, 4 of them have gone for extra bases, 3 doubles and 1 homer.
2-1 was sharply grounded foul down the first base line. It ricocheted off the dugout, and the count levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miller has not surrendered a hit thus far. He also has 3 strikeouts here tonight. Top 3, 1 away, bases empty. Newport and Mystic are still scoreless. The 2-2 misses high and inside for ball 3. The Schooners have already worked a walk here against Miller. It was a 2-out walk to Ryan Ramez an inning ago.
And only 1 runner has reached for both of these teams through the first 2 frames of this one.
Payoff pitch. This one a weak ground ball to third. Grabbed there by Green, 1 shuffle. He will throw out Winkle, 2 away. 5-3. Winkle is retired if you're keeping score with us at home. Brings back up the top of the order in the second baseman, Nick Michelli out of Wagner. Michelli here tonight 0 for 1 with a ground out to shortstop.
Michelli's just been a machine for Mystic, hitting a bunch of doubles. Has 12 to his name already in this NECBL year.
First pitch fastball taken there for a strike on the outside corner by Michelli, 0-1. Yeah, 12 doubles of his 21 hits. That's impressive.
It's a good percentage of balls going for extra bases.
0-1 misses low. It is now 1-1. Miller working quickly. So is Ryan Smith, Mystics starter out of Princeton, 1-1. Misses high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Miller again goes back to the fastball.
And doesn't it always seem to be a pitcher's battle every time these 2 squads square up?
2-1 fastball there from Miller, misses low. Now 3 balls and 1 strike. Thus far, Miller has thrown 48 pitches. 26 have been for strikes.
In the 2 matchups between these squads earlier in the year, neither team has scored more than 2 runs.
3-1 was skied in the air, foul off to the right side and out of play, and the count pushes full to 3 balls and 2 strikes. So we'll see what Miller decides to go with for his 50th pitch of the night. It's on the way. This one grounded to shortstop off the high hop, grabbed there by Aldretti. Long throw to first, not in time. It pushed Dashbach off the bag. We'll see how they want to roll that. That's going to be an infield single there for Nick Michelli. First hit of the contest for the Mystic Schooners. Took a very interesting hop there, and that's a tough one for Aldretti to handle.
Absolutely it was, and that's why, he gets the hit because of that really high hop it took. It looked like it bounced right where the dirt meets the grass in the infield there, and that's why it sailed so high up in the air for Aldretti to field and just couldn't make the throw in time for a hustling Nick Michelli.
It's a 2-out infield single for Michelli. He takes his lead off of first base. Miller works out of the stretch and misses high with a fastball to the shortstop, John Trousdale out of Alabama. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Whereas the high Black Sox up to the kneecap, bats from the left side. 1-0. In there for a strike. There's a delayed steal from Michelli. He beats the throw. It gets away into center field from Dorenzo, picked up by Flowers. It will allow Michelli to move all the way to third base with 2 away. And it's a 1-1 count to John Trousdale. He took a strike. So how about that? It's a heads-up play by Michelli. Not a bad throw from Dorenzo, but It's the aggressive base running there by the Schooners put on display.
Absolutely. Michelle's a very fast base runner. It's surprising that we've only seen him go one time, actually, so far this season. And that was back on June 28th against North Adams. He actually slid so hard that he slid past the second base bag and off of it, which is why he has that one caught stealing attempt in one stolen base attempt. He would have had the base by a mile had he been able to stay on the bag, but slides right past it and then got tagged out. Finally, some good luck for him on the base pass.
1-2 ground ball up the middle, past Aldretti into left center field, a base hit. Michele will score on a 2-out RBI single off the bat of John Trousdale to put Mystic ahead 1-0 here in the top half of the third.
Yeah, who else but John Trousdale coming up big for Mystic. Nick Michele advances on a fielding error by the Newport Gulls, just 90 feet away, and John Trousdale with 2 outs steps up big time, gets the RBI single.
So we'll see what Tommy Jew can do, the center fielder out of UC Santa Barbara. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And now Dominic Dorenzo will jog out to the mound to talk with Eric Miller. Thus far for Mystic, 1 run on 2 hits. For Newport, no runs on 1 hit. And there you see it, how a very interesting hop helps Michele get aboard. And then timely hitting from the NECBL's leading hitter in John Trousdale, a 2-out RBI single, gives Mystic an early 1-0 lead.
And Trousdale keeps his streak intact, has now reached base in every single game he's gotten at bat, including this one with that single.
Miller will check up there on Trousdale at first base. He's back in safely. 1-0, Mystic leads over Newport. Top 3, 2 outs and 1 away, and 1 on, and John Trousdale has about a 10-foot lead. First pitch, again, misses high. So we'll see what Miller decides to go with. Here to Tommy Jew.
Yeah, that one was way upstairs from Miller. Must have been a miscue. We'll see how he handles having that run aboard. And does it shake his confidence a bit, or is he able to get back to the dominant pitcher we've seen him throughout this contest? That's 2 kind of way off pitches by him on this at-bat already.
Misses low there with a changeup. 2 balls and no strikes. Miller falls behind the number 3 hitting Tommy Jew and of UC Santa Barbara. Swings the all-tan bat from the right side, the all-white batting gloves. 2-0 out of the stretch from Miller. This one skied in the air. Shallow left field. Aldretti moves over towards his right, towards the line, reaches up, makes the 2-handed catch, and the inning is over. But the damage has been done for the Mystic Schooners. They push across. 1 run on 2 hits. Leave no one aboard with no Newport errors. We will go to the bottom half of the third inning with your score. Mystic 1, Newport 0, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. As we go to the bottom half of inning number 3, it is a 1-0 lead for the Mystic Schooners over the Newport Gulls, courtesy of a 2-out RBI single off the bat of Alabama's shortstop in John Trousdale. Gives the Schooners an early lead. Newport will try and answer here against Ryan Smith, the lefty out of Princeton. Enters his 3rd full inning of work. Carter Aldretti, Drew Archiolo, Cameron Meisner, hitters 8, 9, and 1 due up for Newport here in the frame. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Newport Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Almer, and Gulls field reporter Cam McGuire. We are all here with you, and also during the inning we will send it over to Cam for a look around the NECBL scoreboard. Carter Aldretti steps in, looks at a breaking ball there for strike 1. Aldretti, the starting shortstop here tonight out of Arizona State. This is his first start at shortstop. 0-1, fouled off right side, and it is now 0-2. So we will see what Aldretti can do here for Newport. The Gulls have 1 hit here tonight. It was a 2-out single from Nick Durr in the bottom of the 2nd, but he was left stranded. 0-2 on the way from Smith. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Down on strikes goes Aldretti. 5th strikeout of the ball game for Ryan Smith out of Princeton. There's 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd.
And he needed just 3 pitches to get that K on Aldretti. working really fast here, not showing any signs of pressure now that his team has given him that 1-0 lead. In fact, he's even amped it up, working against the bottom of the lineup here. He expects another clean inning out of himself.
Drew Archiolo steps in, the right fielder out of Fairfield. Fouls this one off his front foot. It is 0-1, and now we'll kick it over to Cam McGuire for a look around the NECBL scoreboard.
In the top of the fifth, the Vermont Mountaineers lead the Winnipesaukee Muskrats of a score of 5-0. In the bottom of the third, the New Bedford Bay Sox and the Plymouth Pilgrims are at a score of 0-0. In the bottom third, here, the Mystic Schooners lead the Newport Gulls 1-0. In the top of the fourth, Ocean State Waves and the Upper Valley Nighthawks are tied 0-0. In the top of the third, the Keene Swamp Bats lead the North Adams Steeplecats 2-0.
Thanks so much, Cam. Drew Archiolo here at the plate faces a 2-1 count from Smith. Pitch on the way, once again fouled back. And the count levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Smith, the lefty out of Princeton, he has been excellent here tonight. And for Smith thus far, 37 pitches thrown, 24 have been for strikes. Break-even offering on the way. This one grounded to shortstop. Should be routine for Trousdale. Gets the high hop, sets his feet, throw to first. In time, 2 away.
Plenty of time for Trousdale to make that throw. He got a nice jump on it, charging in, and makes a clean throw across the diamond over to Chris Winkle. One more out needed for Ryan Smith to get his second 1-2-3 inning over just 3 innings played.
So here's Cameron Meisner, the leadoff man out of Missouri. He's 0 for 1, stands with an open stance from the left side, swings the all-black bat, first pitch. Slider misses high in the zone for ball 1. Meisner holds the hands about letter high, wears the black and gray batting gloves. 1-0. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. It is 1-1 on Meisner. We're in the bottom half of the third. 2 away. The base is empty. 1-0. Mystic leads over Newport. Next pitch. Fastball runs wide. 2-1.
Ryan Smith really just been a model of efficiency so far in this game through 2 2/3 innings pitch. He's only faced 9 batters.
2-1, fouled off, left side, out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count levels on Cameron Meisner. The third baseman, Solomon, plays about 5 feet to his left, pull side there for the left-handed hitting Meisner. The center fielder in Tommy Jew plays straight up behind the second base bag. 2-2, hit in the air, deep left field, sends Ray back. Long run and a one-hop defense. Around first, heading for second is Meisner. Here is Ray's throw to second. It's not in time. Cameron Meisner into second base with a stand-up double here in the bottom half of the third with 2 away.
And he puts a double on the board to give Andrew Dashback, the reigning NECBL Player of the Week, a chance to possibly bring him home and even this game up.
Big spot here for Andrew Dashbach. Enters play with a .380 batting average. That is the 3rd best in the NECBL. Like you talked about, he was named the NECBL Player of the Week. And for the Mystic Schooners, the right-hander Kevin Chandler out of UC Santa Barbara was named the NECBL Pitcher of the Week. So 2 teams with NECBL Players of the Week. Battle here tonight. It's Mystic and Newport. The Schooners with a 1-0 lead. Bottom 3, 2 away. A runner on second. First pitch to Dashbach. Changeup. Misses below the knees for ball 1. This is a big spot here, Jack, early on.
Absolutely. If you're Ryan Smith, you really don't want to give up that lead, especially when you've seen how hard runs have been to come by here. And when you've been pitching so well, it's tough to allow just that one big double by Cameron Meisner to allow the Gulls to get back into things. You'd love to just get out Dashback, who's really been swinging a hot bat, so this should be a fun battle to watch.
Smith misses low there with a backdoor curveball. It's 2 balls and no strikes on Andrew Dashbach, the first baseman out of Stanford. Off of second is Meisner. 2-0, ground ball over the head of Smith. Moving to his right is Michelli. Tough play, throw to first in time. What a play by Nick Michelli, ranging to his right. And the inning is over. 4-3. Andrew Dashbach is retired. For Newport, no runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard with no Mystic errors. We are through 3 full innings of play here at the ballpark with your score. Mystic 1, Newport 0, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. As we go to the top half of inning number 4 here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, it is a 1-0 lead for the Mystic Schooners over the Newport Gulls. And for Mystic, hitters 4, 5, and 6 do up Philip Capra, Brian Ray, Ryan Ramez, all to face off against Eric Miller, the southpaw out of Stanford, who enters his 4th full inning of work here on the mound. And for the play-by-play calls of innings 4, 5, and 6, we'll deal over the play-by-play reins to the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Almer.
Thank you so much. We're going to start off this top of the 4th inning with the Mystic Schooners leading 1-0 over Newport. Phil Capra, the catcher for Mystics Day, will lead things off. He takes a hack and foul tips it into the glove of catcher Dominic Dorenzo. Count now 0-1. Capra, a new addition to the Schooner squad, was rehabbing from an injury, which is why he came so late, has only played 1 game on the year. Did not record a hit in 3 at-bats, struck out once. But Mystic has high hopes for the young catcher and teammate of leader Nick Michelli. So that one goes upstairs by the letters for Capra. Count now 1-2. He looks at a ball in the dirt, skips off home plate into the glove of catcher Dorenzo. Eric Miller now evens up the count 2-2 to Phil Capra. Here's a 2-2 pitch, that one outside, and Miller has now thrown 3 straight balls to load up this count.
Yeah, still kind of has that pitcher's duel feel to it, Jack, and his strike-to-ball ratio, interestingly, we'll get to that after the pitch.
And that one goes low and outside for ball 4, so 4 straight balls after 2 strikes to start off the at-bat for Eric Miller. Will walk Phil Capra, gives him a free pass over to first base.
Thus far for Miller, 33 strikes and 29 balls. He has thrown 62 pitches thus far, so, you know, he's been around the plate. Like you mentioned, you know, the second walk here issued by Miller. He's going to have to work around that here.
So here comes Brian Ray, the number 5 man, playing left field today. That one is low for ball 1. Ray 0 for 1 on the day with a fly out to Connor Aldretti. That was a ball that was hit straight over to the Newport shortstop. Ray winds up, thinks about it, but that one he leaves high and upstairs by the letters, and we will have a mound visit after the 6th straight ball is thrown by pitcher Eric Miller.
Yeah, Newport pitching coach Kevin Winterroad wants to talk with things here on the mound with Miller, and we've talked about that strike-to-ball ratio. It's very close, you know, thus far for Miller here. 33 strikes, 31 balls. He's thrown 64 pitches through 3 innings of work. You credit the job that Mystic has done here offensively. They've been efficient. Of course, just the 1 run on those 2 hits. They're back in the 3rd. It's enough to give Mystic a lead here early on in this contest. Miller needs to keep finding a way to pound the strike zone, keep throwing strikes, keep Mystic's bats beating you. That's ultimately what you want if it's going to happen. You rather than beat you with the bats than their eyes, than walking hitters. You want them to deserve the offensive production that they could get. So here for Miller, got to find a way to keep getting ahead, keep throwing strikes.
That one is lifted high in the air by Brian Ray. It will range up and over the stands and out of play, so that will move the count to 2-1 for Brian Ray. And Eric Miller has thrown his first strike since strike number 2 to Phil Capra, who he eventually walked 4 pitches later. So no outs here as Brian Ray sends one over to the shortstop Aldretti. Aldretti will only have 1 play, and that is over to first. He gets him. Aldretti over to Andrew Dashback, but Phil Capra now moves into scoring position off that ground ball from Brian Ray.
Does the job. You know, situational hitting is going to be the difference here in this ball game. Like we talked about, has that pitcher's dual feel to it. It's going to be situational hitting and defense. And you know, Newport with that 1 error back in the 3rd inning, that was a huge help to give Mystic this early lead. Whichever team is going to play clean defense, at least for the most part, especially when it counts, and the team that can find a way to get the situational hitting going and be effective, that's the team that's going to win this ball game right now. Mystic is doing that here at the moment.
Here comes Ryan Ramez, the man out of Seton Hall, playing right field today for Mystic. He was the first player in this game to reach base with a walk back in the 2nd inning, first Schooner to do so against Eric Miller. He flashes bunt but pulls it back as that one came high and in tight for ball one.
And of course, it's a very long game. You know, we still have a long way to go, 6 innings to play. But just kind of something to keep your eye on here because these are two very, very evenly matched teams.
The 1-0 pitch catches the outside half of the plate. That one looked like it was going low and outside, but is able to paint the corner of that strike zone to even the count 1-1. A nice pitch by Eric Miller.
Nice pitch by Miller. Very nice frame behind the plate from Dominic Dorenzo, the catcher out of Oklahoma for Newport.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's upstairs by the helmet of Ramez. Will push the count to 2-1 as Phil Capra awaits over at second base. Schooners would love to put him 90 feet away and are considering doing that even if it means getting the second out, as Ryan Ramez showed bunt on the first pitch, hasn't flashed it yet. Here's the 2-1 throw. Ramez steps back out of the batter's box to get away from that one. That one was a little high inside. Count now 3-1, and Eric Miller has struggled to find the strike zone in this inning alone. He's been phenomenal prior to this frame.
You know, we've talked about the run support that Miller has gotten, and here tonight has a different offensive feel.
That one is outside, and he has walked his second batter of this inning, only his third overall. So Phil Capra stays over there at second base. Ryan Ramez now the man at first as Ryan Solomon steps into the batter's box, trying to advance his two teammates. Solomon playing third base today. He's 0 for 1 in the contest. He struck out on his lone at-bat. That was back in the second inning after Ryan Ramez reached by way of a walk. So Ramez has now had made 2 trips to the plate, not recorded an official at-bat with the back-to-back walks as Ryan Solomon takes a cut and comes up empty. Count 0-1 for the Mystic third baseman.
Yeah, went to the changeup there. That's an excellent pitch from Miller on the mound. That may be a pitch that he may decide to go back to more here as the game progresses.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one check swung on by Solomon, and there you have it. The same pitch he got him with on the first time fools him again for strike number 2.
Yeah, it goes back again to that outside changeup. Now a lot of options here. Do you come with an inside fastball and set that pitch up, or you know, maybe go to the curveball here? Lots of different ways that Miller can go with here.
There's the 0-2 pitch. That one is crushed into left field. Will not leave the ballpark. Cameron Meisner will set a little underneath it, and as it's over in that left field area, will not be able to advance. Phil Capra over at second base. He thought about tagging up, but the depth just wasn't there to risk a second to third base run with the ball out in left field.
How about that? Another outside changeup. 3 outside changeups to Ryan Solomon. Great job there by Miller, because that is a pitch that he's really started to develop it and gain confidence with here in this inning. It looks great.
So Andrew Gazzola will be the last hope for Mystic in this inning to try to add some cushion to their 1-0 lead. 2 outs, 2 men on here for the Schooners in the 4th inning. Ryan Ramez over at first base. Phil Capra in scoring position at second. Here comes the 0-1, grounded over to Aldretti. Aldretti will just make the short throw over to second base to Nick Durr covering, and that will do it in the 4th inning. Schooners put 2 runners on, but Newport responds by not allowing a run to cross. Schooners still lead, though, 1-0 over Newport heading into the bottom of this 4th inning. I'm Jack Almer here, and this is the NECBL Broadcast Network.
I really can't
But
stay.
baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go.
And we are back here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm Jack Almer along with Darren Zaslow as the Schooners lead the Newport Gulls 1-0 here in Newport, Rhode Island. Stepping into the batter's box will be Dominic Dorenzo, the catcher for the Gulls. Dorenzo, number 3 man in this Newport lineup, seeing just his second at-bat all the way here in the 4th inning. Ryan Smith, the lefty out of Princeton, has just been dominant through the first 3 of this game. That one into the glove of Capra, squirts out and over his left shoulder. Count will go to 0-1. That ball a little bit low on the catcher Dorenzo.
Yeah, this is an inning that Newport really needs to find to get this offense going. Now that we're almost, you know, into the 5th inning, almost halfway done.
Sounded like a splintered bat from Dorenzo, picked up by John Trauzo, the shortstop, and thrown over to Chris Winkle at first base for out number 1. 6-3 goes Dorenzo, brings up Tyler Green, the third baseman, who is 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout.
You know, and really credit the job of both of these pitchers here on the mound. You know, they've done a nice job working away from barrels. You know, we've rarely seen really quality contact here tonight. Ryan Smith, Eric Miller, both keeping their teams in this ball game.
Here comes Tyler Green. That one framed nicely by Capra, but will be called a strike on the outside right corner. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That one is fouled back into the backstop from Green, who is now in an 0-2 hole and in danger of his second consecutive strikeout.
And again, with Smith here and Miller, how, again, both left-handed pitchers, not afraid to work both parts of the plate. You know, oftentimes you'll see lefties work away from righties. Here tonight, that's not the case.
The 0-2 pitch is low and inside for ball 1, count 1-2. From the man they call Princeton among the Mystic dugout, and he gets a strikeout. And it looks like that pitch was low and outside, swung on by Green, but a miscue on the scoring. It's now 2 strikes and 2 balls to Green. Smith will have to get one more past Green. That one is foul tipped, but cannot be secured by Capra. Count will remain even at 2-2, but Schooners refer to Smith as Princeton, obviously due to the fact that he goes to Princeton. Not a creative bunch are the Schooners, but
he's been excellent here tonight. I mean, and you look at this pitch count, he's been around the plate a lot. He has thrown 54 pitches, 33 for strikes. Really, really good numbers here by the southpaw in Smith.
Here's the second 2-2 pitch. That one is fouled backwards, so we will have another 2 even pitch from the lefty Smith coming up. Tyler Green doing a nice job keeping himself alive in this at-bat against Ryan Smith.
Smith with 5 strikeouts in the 12 batters he's faced. I mean, that really puts it into perspective for you for how good he's been here tonight.
Here's the third 2-2 pitch. That one again fouled down the third baseline. Looked like it might have caught the shins of the cameraman over there, but looked like he was able to dance away from it. That one had some pop on it. But it's another foul ball from Green. He keeps himself alive in this at-bat, and we will have our fourth 2-2 pitch from Ryan Smith. That one looks like it will stay in play and might even leave the park, and it does. A bomb by Tyler Green over the left field wall has tied this game up.
Well, that's exactly what Newport needs, Jack. And I'll tell you what, Smith elevated a changeup there. It's a great piece of hitting from Tyler Green. He has been a mainstay in this Newport lineup, and for Green this year, it's his second home run. Give him RBI number 12 as well. Newport ties up the game. It's now 1-1.
That one was gone the second it came off the bat. Brian Ray tracking it, just put his arms down in despair as he watched that one sail over the high Newport wall out in that outfield. That one is grounded right up the gap between the shortstop and second baseman, and it will be back-to-back hits on Ryan Smith for the first time in this game. Ty Duval, the DH, getting the single. Newport threatening to take over the lead, only one away here as Nick Durr and J.C. Flowers await. Durr coming into the batter's box, Flowers on deck. Durr has already reached with a single in this game as pitching coach Dennis Long will have a quick mound visit along with catcher Phil Capra to kind of talk things over, as what was a great day for Ryan Smith. Can't discount anything he's done, but the tides have certainly turned a little bit momentum now in the direction of the Newport Gulls offense for the first time today.
Certainly, and we talked about how important this inning is. You know, now that we're getting almost to about that halfway mark in this game, Newport needs to find a way to put things together offensively. They're doing that. They're not trying to do too much with these pitches that have been, you know, slightly elevated in the zone. And again, when you overswing at the plate, you can only really hurt yourself, you know. And here for Newport, keeping that approach, staying, you know, strong there in the box. The Gulls need to continue to do that here in this game and especially here in this inning.
So that one is slapped for another single by Nick Durr. He will get on base and push Duvall over to second, with J.C. Flowers now coming up to the plate. Connor Eldreddy awaits in the on-deck circle for Smith. That's now 3 straight hits. Get off Ryan Smith.
Yeah, Newport out hitting Mystic 5-2 in this game, and this is a game of 2 offenses that have really struggled this year. Newport a .221 team batting average. That's the worst in the NECBL. We talked about that already. Mystic with a .236 team average. That's the 3rd worst. So that kind of puts this into perspective for you about how these offenses really have had up and down starts here in this first half of the season.
Breaking ball, the outside half does not register a called strike. It will be count 1-0 to J.C. Flowers, the center fielder. 2 men on, only 1 away. That one looks like it has 2 written all over it. Nick Michelli steps on the bag, makes the play unassisted, throws over to Chris Winkle for out number 2. So the Schooners get out of it on the double play, 4-3 by Nick Michelli, but not before the Newport Gulls tie it up by way of the Tyler Green solo homer out into left field. We have a tie ball game here, 1-1. Here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Happiness, wake up the happiness, shake up the happiness, it's Christmas time. There's a story that I was told and I want to tell.
Welcome back to the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm Jack Gallmer along with Darren Zaslow here in the top of the 5th inning. Mystic and Newport all tied up at 1 apiece. As we head down the home stretch of this game, Chris Winkle will lead things off for the Schooners, the first baseman in the 9-hole. Going to get the first axe here in the 5th inning. Nick Michelli and John Trousdale also due up for Mystic in this game. Winkle 0 for 1 on the day. He had a 5-3 ground out off a full count to start his day. Sends that one foul down the first baseline. Skips over towards the Newport dugout.
Yeah, Miller and Smith have really been battling here on the mound. Newport's offense getting going, though. It's a good sign for the Gulls as this game progresses.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That one swung on by Chris Winkle. Can't make contact, and it'll be an 0-2 hole for the Mystic first baseman.
He went to the outside curveball there and got a great swing and miss. It's really interesting how Miller's fastball can set up the curveball, can set up the changeup. He's doing a nice job.
Here comes the 0-2. That one is swung on and hit over to the second baseman. That is Nick Durr mishandling it over there and will allow Chris Winkle to reach on the E4. So an error by Durr puts the leadoff man aboard here for the Schooners, with a dangerous duo of Nick Michelli and John Trousdale up next.
Yeah, just took a high hop on it. And there you can see that in-between hop. Just kind of got away from Durr over there at second base. And again, for Newport, this is the 2nd error for the Gulls thus far. It's kind of something to kind of keep your eye on, because we've talked about the importance of defense in a pitcher's duel, so Newport needs to do as well.
Here comes Michelli, swings on the first pitch he sees. That one a high fly ball out into the right field stands, will drop foul. Count 0-1 to Michelli. And at the University of Connecticut, Chris Winkle was 11 for 14 on stolen base attempts. Definitely a lot of speed in that 6'4 frame. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Michelli, and he sends that one foul down the third baseline. Would have been a nice ball had it stayed fair, but curls once it passed that third base bag, and count will be 0-2 to Michelli, who's swung on every pitch he's seen in this at-bat.
Yeah, he's definitely been aggressive there at the plate, but that's what you need to do with Miller. You know, you see some elevated pitches. Those are the ones that you need to swing at. Try and put the barrel on that baseball.
Michelli 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a run scored. That one is golfed into the outfield, will land for a base hit, picked up by Drew Archiolo, thrown over to third base, and Chris Winkle is in there safe. The tag applied by Tyler Green, not in time. And the Schooners will have a runner 90 feet away off the Michelli single. John Trousdale, who already has an RBI in this game, will be up to bat now for Mystic.
I'll tell you what, Winkle there hesitated running around second base. Archeola, you can see on the replay in front of you, picks it up. A high throw, a very good throw at that, all the way from right field, but really close play. Winkle may have just gotten under that tag from Tyler Green.
And I definitely think that was the ruling, that Winkle got low enough where his foot was able to make contact with the plate, as that one goes inside and upstairs on John Trousdale for ball one. Prior to the tag was applied by Tyler Green. Definitely a very close play, but it results in Mystic with a runner in scoring position over at third base, nobody out. Nick Michelli over at first base as Trousdale just barely misses an opportunity to get another RBI to his total in this game. That one was sliced down that third base line and just curled foul. Was really close to that line though.
Just a little late on that offering was Trousdale. He also kind of got jammed on that pitch. It's impressive by Trousdale to keep his hands inside that inside curveball there from Miller. It's what you want to do, especially on that ball that's breaking away from you. Keep your hands inside that baseball.
Count 1-1. Runners on the corners for Mystic as Nick Michelli gets back on the pickoff attempt by Eric Miller. Trousdale is 1 for 2 on the day with a single, an RBI, and a strikeout. He sits in the 1-1 count here to Eric Miller, trying to give Mystic the lead back here in this 5th inning. There's the 1-1 pitch. That one is swung on as well by Trousdale, and he kind of winces that ball went straight back into the backstop, and he drops into a 1-2 hole.
We'll see what Miller decides to go with here. You would love a strikeout to set up a double play ball that can get you out of the inning. This is a huge pitch. You've got a couple to waste if you're Miller on the mound, but you really want to attack Trousdale here.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Miller, who stares down Michelli over at first base, steps off the bag, and Michelli hops back over safe. Chris Winkle very close to being the go-ahead run here for the Schooners. Mystic and the Gulls all tied up at 1 apiece. That one upstairs and outside on Trousdale, who wisely holds up to even the count at 2-2.
It's a good point there, Jack. You know, you can see Michelli over there at first base kind of hopping around. He's trying to draw a throw. He's trying to garner some attention there from Miller on the mound. And who knows, you may even see Michelli decide to go and try and steal second here.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Trousdale just gets it. It will be enough to bring Chris Winkle home. The tag is able to get Michelli, so Nick Durr does a nice job tagging Michelli on his way to second and then throwing the ball over to first. It will not be in time, though, to get John Trousdale. So Trousdale reaches on the fielder's choice and brings home the runner and avoids the double play, so he will get the RBI on that ground ball. Coming home is Chris Winkle, and the Schooners now lead by 1 run, 2-1 here in Newport, Rhode Island.
Yeah, Jack, that's the situational hitting we've been talking about, and for Trousdale, that does the job. Still got a runner on base here for Mystic.
That one is hit in the gap by Tommy Jew. Went off the glove of Eric Miller. You heard the groan of the crowd as that one came right at Miller. Looked a little bit dangerous off the bat of Jew, but it will result in a single for the Mystic center fielder, and the Schooners now have another runner in scoring position.
And you see how the leadoff air that Winkle reaches on can really come back and hurt you. And, of course, if Winkle is retired on that pitch, well, this inning looks completely different. But that's how baseball works. That's how this game works. And in close pitchers' duels, errors leading to 90 feet magnify significantly. As Newport manager Al Leyva will talk with Miller there on the mound. We'll see if Newport decides to make a pitching change in the inning, and that's what they are going to do. We'll get you Newport's reliever, his name and information, when we come back after this. Mystic with a 2-1 lead. Top 5 runners on first and second, 1 away. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
And we are back here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm Jack Almer along with Darren Zaslow as the Mystic Schooners have taken a 2-1 lead here in this 5th inning and are threatening for more with John Trousdale, a speedy runner, in scoring position over at second base. Tommy Jew advanced him over to that second base bag off a single from Eric Miller, and that single will be the last batter that Miller faces, as replacing him now is right-hander David Palmer. And to tell us a little bit more about Palmer, I'm going to go over to Darren.
Thank you so much, Jack. Well, here's David Palmer's numbers. He's the right-hander out of the University of New Haven. He leads the team in innings pitched with 21.2 entering play here tonight, a 4.57 ERA. Palmer is 0-2. This is his 6th appearance. He has also started 4 games. He has given up 20 hits, 11 earned runs, 5 walks. He has struck out 24. Opponents are hitting .227 against him, so a very, very solid pitcher in David Palmer. Had excellent numbers this past spring at the University of New Haven. And Jack, he comes on here in a big spot.
Phil Capra will step into the batter's box with 2 away here for the Schooners. Got a runner on second. Capra sends one high up in the air, and it will land in foul territory.
Certainly a big spot. We'll get you the final line here on Newport's starter, the left-hander Eric Miller out of Stanford. He's still responsible for Jew on first and John Trousdale on second. Miller threw 4.1 innings, gave up no earned runs, 2 total runs on 4 hits. He struck out 3 and walked 3 as well. But like we said, still responsible for the runners on first and second.
So Trousdale doing a little dancing back on that second base bag, trying to get in the head of new pitcher David Palmer. Count 0-1 to the catcher Capra, who is 0 for 1 on the day, takes a strikeout on the inner half of the plate. Capra has walked once in this game and grounded out to third base.
And how about Palmer's numbers at the University of New Haven this year? 1.51 ERA in 11 starts and 77.1 innings pitched.
That one is sent into left field by Capra. Cameron Meisner giving chase, will not get to it, and it lands in foul territory. So Capra now down in the count, though stays alive with that foul ball. Still in an 0-2 hole here, as Meisner will try to get over to that one. Did not get there in time. Lands outside, and we will do the 0-2 again. Stepping over to second base is Trousdale, and we will have a mound visit between the Newport pitcher and catcher. David Palmer going to talk things over with Dominic DiRenzo. As Capra waits for the 0-2 pitch. Wonder what this discussion is about. They have a pretty good situation here on the first batter they face together with Capra in the 0-2 hole.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Palmer decides to go with. We've seen that fastball here a few times in this at-bat. Would not be surprised to see the curveball. Try and get Capra to maybe roll over on something. A ground ball could get Newport out of the inning.
Runners on first and second here for the Schooners. They have 1 out and are looking to extend their 2-1 lead. Stepping off the mound is Palmer. Checks back to Trousdale, who skirts back into second base, though nobody really holding him all that tightly. Here is the 0-2 pitch from Phil Capra, and that one is low and outside. Very close to strike 3, but does not get the call, and Capra will have a 1-2 count.
Yeah, Palmer there goes to the changeup. That's the first time tonight we've seen that pitch from him. Now maybe does that changeup set up a fastball away? We'll see.
Palmer gets ready for the 1-2 pitch, checks back over at Trousdale with a big lead off second base, and that one is golfed back into the backstop by Capra. Caught just a piece of that one on a ball low by the knees. Really had to bend down to try to pick that one out of the dirt. Probably a ball that Capra could have let by and even this count up at 2-2, but able to make some contact to keep himself alive.
Yeah, he may have swung at ball 2 there. That's a good point. And, well, he did go to that fastball there on the outside corner. A very close pitch to the zone. It's a very good pitcher's pitch, especially when you're up 1-2 in the count.
So here's the second 1-2 pitch. That one is swung on by Capra and missed. He chased another ball low and outside that time, and it will be a strikeout for David Palmer on the first batter he faces.
Goes to the curveball there. That one started right down the middle of the plate, actually broke to the inside corner there, so pretty much threw that at the back foot of Capra. Got the swing and the miss that he needed. 2 outs here, one more big out here in the frame that Newport needs to record before they can get the bats going in the bottom half.
Brian Ray will try to do what Capra couldn't, and he's got a nice hit to do so. Rounding third is Trousdale off the single by Brian Ray. The throw will be short, but Trousdale comes back from halfway between home and third, dives head first back in the third base bag, and is safe. So the bases are loaded for Ryan Ramez. A nice throw to home plate from the outfield keeps Trousdale from scoring.
Oh, a great read as well by Dominic DiRenzo behind home plate. Came and got that short hop there right on the lip of that infield grass in front of the home plate circle. Great throw from Meisner as well. Grabbing that baseball cleanly with the glove, making a nice transition from the glove hand to the throwing hand. It really saved a run there as the bases are now loaded.
So a bases loaded 2-out situation for Ryan Ramez, who takes a strike to open this at-bat. Ramez has yet to record an official at-bat here, has drawn a pair of walks. Nowhere to put him to draw another walk here, as that one skips in the dirt. Trousdale will not advance. Took DiRenzo a second to locate that one, but he finds it and able to keep the ball in the area to prevent Trousdale from attempting to come home.
Yeah, great block there from DiRenzo behind home plate too.
That one is sent down the first baseline and foul. As Tommy Jew will go all the way back to second base. He'd already touched the third base bag by the time that ball had been officially ruled foul. John Trousdale comes back from about halfway, and we will do this 1-2 pitch to Ryan Ramez with the bases loaded for the Schooners, trying to get a little bit more cushion on their 2-run lead. That one is jackknifed backward by Ramez to level the count at 2-2.
Goes the inside fastball there, did Palmer. Now maybe another curveball could be on the way here. Use that inside fastball to set up curveball away. We'll see.
Here's the 2-2. That one is swung on and shot back into the backstop. We will do the 2-2 count again after this. Ram is doing a nice job getting a piece of that one to keep this at-bat going. Bases loaded, 2 outs here for Mystic.
Doing a great job staying alive, making Palmer throw a lot of pitches here in the frame.
Here's the 2-2. That one is lifted high into the air, but will stay in play for Tyler Green to make the putout. That one drifted into foul territory, but not far enough to leave the park. Tyler Green makes the putout for out number 3, and the Schooners leave the bases loaded to end the top of the 5th inning. We'll head into the bottom of the 5th and see if the Gulls can reclaim this lead. They tied things up an inning ago, and they will look to do the same again here in the 5th inning. I'm Jack Almer here with Darren Zaslow on the NACBL Broadcast Network. And welcome back to the NACBL Broadcast Network. I'm Jack Allen along with Darren Zaslow for the bottom of this 5th inning as the Schooners put together the longest inning we've seen so far back in the top of the frame. The Schooners had all but 2 players record at-bats, and that one is sent right past the second baseman, Nick Michelli. Michelli ranging over to his left side, trying to put that one away, could not get to it, and it will be a leadoff single for the shortstop, Carter Aldretti.
Great start here for Newport in this inning. Great piece of hitting by Aldretti. Got a breaking ball there on the outside corner, waited back on that pitch, didn't try and do too much with it. He's aboard with a leadoff single here for Drew Archiolo.
Archiolo comes up to the plate, is 0 for 1 on the day, flashes bunt, but pulls it back on a ball high and inside. Aldretti aboard with a leadoff single. He's now 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a strikeout. Archiolo grounded it out to the shortstop during his first at-bat. That one, again, thrown for a ball about waist level, but a little inside from Ryan Smith, who enters his 5th inning of work here in this one. Here comes the 2-0 pitch from Ryan Smith. Checks over to Winkle, who is holding Aldretti. That one catches the inner half of the plate for strike one, count 2-1 to the right fielder Archiolo. The Newport Gulls have one on here in the bottom of the 5th. Nobody out. Showing bunt again is Archiolo, but glances off his bat and sent over towards the Newport dugout for strike number 2.
It looked like a bunt and run there from what it looked like up here, Jack, and that's certainly interesting. But you know, you've got speed over there at first base with Aldretti. Also speed here in the batter's box with Archiolo. So a lot of options here offensively for Newport.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one fouled off the foot of Archiolo and into the dirt. We'll do the 2-2 pitch again here for Drew Archiolo.
Credit the job here, though, that Smith has done tonight. 67 pitches. 43 of those have been for strikes. He really has been excellent here tonight. Newport, though, with those 6 hits, just 1 run to show for it.
The pickoff attempt over to first base is not in time to get Carter Aldretti, who got back into the first base bag with ease. Ryan Smith will reset to try to finish off Drew Archiolo and get his first out of this inning. Going is Aldretti. That throw is low. Nick Michelli couldn't come up with it, and he will have himself a stolen base. Nick Michelli was not able to wrangle in the throw from his Wagner teammate Phil Capra behind the plate. And the Gulls now have a runner in scoring position, unable to throw out Aldretti.
That's exactly what Newport needs. Great jump there by Aldretti, and a nice job there by Archiolo to see that pitch out of the zone. Huge pitch here on the way.
That one is low and outside as Ryan Smith walks just his first batter of the day in the number 9 man, Drew Archiolo. So the Gulls now have 2 aboard with their leadoff man, Cameron Meisner, coming up the top of the order. Will bat next for the Gulls, and I think that might be the end of the day, as Ryan Smith definitely looks frustrated with how that outing will end. But trots off the mound as Phil Orby takes the ball, and we will head to a break here. More on Smith and the new man on the mound for the Mystic Schooners coming up next on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus.
And welcome back to the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm Jack Almer here with Darren Zaslow. The day will be done for Ryan Smith, though his statistical day not yet having the book closed on quite yet. We will get you his final line once the 2 runners he's responsible for on first and second are retired. Number 34, Mike Appel out of Central Connecticut State University will take over for Smith. Appel has a Schooners' best 3-0 win-loss record. However, he has pitched exclusively in relief situations for Mystic so far this season. Appeared in 5 games with a straight 0 ERA over 9 innings pitched. Has struck out 5 batters, walked 3, and allowed just 4 hits. Appel enters this game with a 2.219 opposing batting average. That jumped up a little bit. He was throwing just a 1.36 opposing average prior to a June 26th game against Ocean State. where he gave up 2 hits, and then in North Adams in 1 1/3 inning relief he gave up another. That one is bunted straight in the air. Phil Capra gets it off the bounce from the netting above the backstop. So to start things off for Appel, it will be Cameron Meisner in the 0-1 count off the failed bunt attempt. We'll see if Meisner flashes it again. Ryan Smith was unable to record an out in that 5th inning, and manager Phil Orby making the change over to Mike Appel, the righty. That one again off the bat of Meisner and back into pretty much the same spot the last bunt attempt went into, up in the netting by the backstop. Count now 0-2 to left fielder Meisner.
You know, these are some of the little things to keep your eye on, getting bunts down, playing defense, you know, and it's such a close game in a pitcher's duel like this one. Those are some of the plays that really need to be focused on to execute, especially in this type of situation.
Here's the 0-2. That one low and inside by the shins of Meisner. Count now 1-2. Appel had a couple pitches to waste, and he throws the first one of those. We'll see what he does here. A strikeout would be huge for the Schooners, as they could then end the inning on the next at-bat with a double play. However, they will not get it. That ball goes off the leg of the runner, Drew Archiolo, and he looks in pain as he will trot back to the dugout. That will bring the runner in third base back to second, and it's as if the Schooners got a strikeout there, as a runner is retired without an advance.
You don't see that very often, Jack, do you? I mean, wow, you know, and that ball, had that not hit Archiolo, could have gotten in the right field, maybe could have even tied this ball game, but still a solid opportunity for Newport here to get some more runs with Andrew Dashbach at the plate. You got the tying run at second base with Aldretti. He's got good speed out there. Lots of speed with Meisner over there at first base, so not all for lost here in the frame. Newport still with more offensive damage to be done.
So it'll be scored a single by Meisner. However, the runner Archiolo trying to get to second base will be retired. Capra lost that one for a moment, but is able to recover it and throw it back to his pitcher before the second base runner Carter Aldretti had a chance to advance to third. And what a weird play that was, just a pitch ago, but does the trick for the Schooners. They get a little bit of luck as a big cut from Andrew Dashbach puts the first baseman in a 1-1 count.
And you've seen a lot of fastballs thus far here from Appel. Probably going to continue to work away there from Dashbach. Probably going to keep going to that outside black. Maybe dropping a breaking ball here and try and get Dashbach to chase.
That one is lifted high into the air. Looks like it will drop in foul territory, and no Schooners able to make a play on that one. Count moves to 1-2 for the first baseman Dashbach.
And thus far, your final line on Eric Miller. 4.1 innings pitched, no earned runs. Did give up 2 runs, though. 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. He faced 21 batters.
Runners at first and second for the Gulls as the breaking ball misses high and inside. Count even at 2 apiece. And we talked about how a strikeout on the prior at-bat would be huge for Appel. Well, one here would be pretty big for the Schooners as well, as it takes that one is grounded into the dirt, into the backstop, foul ball, but it would take any chance of the Gulls getting a productive out, possibly moving Aldretti over there at second base into third base out of the equation. And we will do the 2-2 pitch to Andrew Dashbach. Once again, Dashbach 0 for 2 on the day. He looks at a ball low and outside. Count moves to full. 3-2 now. The payoff pitch from Appel coming up.
Yeah, great job by Dashbach to see that one off the outside corner. Newport needs to continue working these at-bats, winning each pitch.
Here comes the payoff pitch from Appel. That one is swung on by Dashbach, sent up and out of the stadium over the right field wall. and it lands foul, so we'll do the payoff pitch from Appel to Dashbach once again.
Appel already with 7 pitches thrown through just 1/3 of an inning, so that kind of puts it into perspective for you. Newport doing a nice job working at bats here, making Mystic work on the mound.
Here comes the payoff pitch once again, and that one catches the outside half for strike number 3. Dashbach not a fan of the call, shaking his head as he heads back to the Newport dugout, but it will be 2 away for Mike Appel here in this inning. Off of the strikeout of Dashbach brings up the catcher Dominic DiRenzo with 2 away, 2 runners on. Appel looks to get the Schooners out of this inning with their 2-1 lead intact. Here comes the opening pitch from Appel to DiRenzo. That one catches the inside corner for strike number 1. That was high and in tight, but painting the corner of that strike zone was Appel. And Phil Capper will have a quick chat with his pitcher after that opening strike. Count 0-1 to Dominic DiRenzo.
We look at your lines here for runs, hits, and errors. Well, Newport 1 run on 7 hits and 2 errors. For Mystic, 2 runs on 5 hits and no errors. The true difference in this ball game has been the defense, has been those 2 errors. Newport with 2 of those. Mystic playing a clean slate thus far on defense.
So here comes the 0-1 from Appel. That one is low and outside. Count now moves to 1-1.
Big spot here for DiRenzo. And, well, no perfect time in the present for his first hit as a Newport Gull. It could tie up this ball game.
DiRenzo's 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a ground out. That one right down Broadway for strike number 2. Count 1-2 to the Newport catcher, who, if he gets his first NECBL hit of the year here, would definitely be huge for the Gulls. A single with the speed of Aldretti over on second base could definitely mean this ball game is tied. That one is low by the shins of DiRenzo. Count even at 2 apiece.
Now, if you're Appel, what do you go to here? He's been throwing that curveball very close to the strike zone. May not be a bad move to go back to it.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. That one glances off the bat of DiRenzo. Looked like it would be a check swing, but left his bat over the plate. It hit it, and it will be another 2-2 pitch after the foul ball from the catcher.
Interesting move there. Went to the outside curveball, then comes back with an elevated fastball in the inside corner. So trying to figure out some tendencies here for Appel. Something to kind of keep your eye on as the game progresses.
That one is high and upstairs by the letters. In tight to DiRenzo, and we will have another full count here to the Newport catcher.
The runners will be off with the pitch, so Mystics infield will be forced to throw across the first base on a ground ball. Single to the outfield could definitely tie this ball game.
And that one is lifted upstairs and over the field, out of play. We will reset for another payoff pitch from the catcher DiRenzo.
Went to a fastball there. How much confidence does Appel have here to throw the curveball in this count? Now, I understand he's just out of the bullpen here in this inning, so hasn't thrown that many pitches. But to load the bases here would be huge.
That one is outside and low for ball 4. Appel does load the bases on a walk as the Gulls are inching closer to a tie ball game. Dennis Long will take a visit to the mound. Mystics pitching coach, general manager, and owner. Wears a lot of hats in the organization. Right now out to talk to his man on the mound in Appel, Phil Capra, joining in on the conversation. We'll see what the Schooners try to do to get themselves out of this situation. Appel got a strikeout on his full count to Andrew Dashbach, but now they're able to replicate those results to Dominic DiRenzo. Walks him on a low ball and outside. So the bases are all loaded here for Tyler Green, the third baseman for Newport Green, the man who tied the ball game up at 1-1 originally for Newport with a solo blast over the left field wall. Will now look to potentially give his Gulls a lead here this time up. That one is in there for strike one. Green has gone 1 for 2 on the day with that aforementioned homer, as well as a strikeout back in the second inning. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Appel. Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That one called a strike, to the despair of plenty of Newport fans. But now Green in an 0-2 hole. A chance to take the lead or just tie this ball game up on the line here as Appel throws that pitch into the dirt. Capra takes a minute to locate it, but it rolled down that third base line, so no advance towards home from Carter Eldreddy.
Well, it's a great guy to have up at the plate if you're Newport. And Tyler Green, 1 for 2 with that solo home run to tie the ball game at 2. They're back in the bottom half of the 4th. What does Appel want to go back to here? We saw the curveball, maybe the fastball.
So the 1-2 pitch goes upstairs and inside for Appel. Will be called a ball, and we'll have a 2-2 pitch coming up. So righty Appel will try to end this inning on this next pitch. That one is swung on and missed by Tyler Green. Cannot help his Gulls get back into this game this time, as a strikeout by Appel ends the 5th inning. We'll head in the top of the 6th here on the NACBL Broadcast Network. I'm Jack Almer here with Darren Zaslow. We'll see you on the other side. And I'm Jack Almer, back on the NACBL Broadcast Network along with Darren Zaslow here in this 6th inning of action between the Mystic Schooners and Newport Gulls. Mystic currently owns a 2-1 lead heading in to this 6th inning. On the mound will be David Palmer for the Newport Gulls. Palmer came in with a tough situation, but was able to get out of it. Though he allowed the bases to load, he struck one out and grounded out another to finish off the 5th inning. And we'll see what he does here in his first full inning of work against the Schooners. Mystic trying to give their pitchers a little bit more room here, as we've seen a 1-run lead evaporate already in this game, and very quickly at that, as Tyler Green hit a solo blast over the left field wall back in the 4th inning to bring Newport back from a 1-0 deficit.
It'll get you the final line here on starting left-handed pitcher for Mystic. Ryan Smith out of Princeton, 4 innings pitched, 1 earned run on 6 hits. He struck out 5 and walked 1. He is in line for the no decision.
The first pitch to Ryan Solomon misses for ball 1. The third baseman grounds one into the foot of pitcher Palmer, and it will be a single for Ryan Solomon. That one went off the foot of Palmer and rolled foul afterwards. And now we've seen 2 balls hit players in the infield, as a ball earlier struck off the leg of Drew Archiolo, which forced him to be retired and was as good as a strikeout for the Schooners with 2 runners on and nobody out. Just an inning ago held both runners where they stood. So now in the batter's box with the leadoff man on is Andrew Gazzola, who lays down a bunt. He runs hard through it, and he will be safe over at first base. Now the Schooners have 2 men on with nobody out.
Yeah, how about that? I mean, again, it's really just timely hitting right now for Mystic. That's pretty much the name of the game thus far for the Schooners, and give them credit because they're making Palmer work on the mound. And it's been a very efficient offense here thus far. You've gotten the great pitching, the timely hitting, and the great defense for Mystic. It is a recipe for success. We'll see how much longer Newport wants to stick with Palmer, as Gulls manager Al Leyva will walk out to the mound.
And we'll see if we get a pitching change here. Looks like just a conversation from Al Leyva with his infielders in a tough spot against Mystic right now, as there's 2 runners on and nobody out. Ryan Solomon in scoring position at second. Andrew Gazzola, the designated hitter, over at first base. Chris Winkle, who is 0 for 2 on the day but reached on an error back in the 5th inning, is now up for Mystic. Winkle was also retired back in the 3rd inning on a 5-3 ground out. So 2 on, no outs here for the Schooners as the Gulls break their meeting at the mound. And we'll see what David Palmer can do, pitching with his back against the wall here. Mystic already with that 1-run lead. Infielders come in, and not able to secure it off the hop was Tyler Green, and Chris Winkle will once again reach on another error. The bases are loaded with nobody out here for the Mystic Schooners.
Yeah, Newport went with the wheel play defensively there from what it looks like, where the shortstop Aladretti runs all the way to third from his position to cover the bag, and Green was looking at third before he caught the baseball there, and Mystic in business here with the bases loaded.
Nick Michelli, who is 2 for 3 on the day with a pair of singles, steps into the batter's box. He's Mystic's leadoff man. And with the bases loaded, we'll try to extend this Schooners lead. Swings on the first pitch he sees. That one deep into center field, and it is gone. A grand slam by Nick Michelli. So he brings home 4 runners with a massive shot out over the center field wall. What a play by Michelli.
Well-struck baseball, certainly, and Mystic, the offense certainly has found its rhythm here in the frame. 3 hits, 4 runs scored, and 1 error. And the Schooners out to a comfortable lead here at 5 runs.
Michelli's host family with the Schooners is in attendance here today. They're out in right field stands, and they were ecstatic to see that shot by Michelli. And here's another big blast from John Trousdale, and it will land fair. Trousdale will round first for second, and going into third, there is no throw yet. That one finally comes, and Trousdale slides in with a triple. Not sure what was going on back there, as there's a scoreboard and shed out in right field, which kind of limits what we can see from our vantage point. Trousdale may be moved back to second, but right now it is a triple. Looks like the outfielder for the Gulls, Drew Archiolo, trying to argue his case that the ball had rolled in a position where he couldn't get to it, so therefore Trousdale should be brought back to second. Not really sure the layout of this field. Darren, can you tell us a little bit more about what might be being argued out there in right field?
Yeah, you know, it's actually interesting because the visibility sometimes when you get close to that fence, you know, it can get kind of dark in some of these corners here at Cardines Field. That's just kind of how it is here sometimes. And we actually saw a ball that was lost in the dark area right up against the fence. Back last week against North Adams, it actually turned into a 2-run inside the park home run. That ball was actually lost in deep right center field in that deep triangle where J.J. Blade couldn't find the baseball. And maybe a similar scenario here with Archiolo, that he just could not find the baseball in that deep right center field corner. Obviously, it's a very spacious outfield here at the ballpark. The 28-foot high fences, you know, are something that outfielders have to tailor their game around. So that may be kind of what it is, and maybe Archiolo just simply couldn't find the baseball.
So Trousdale will remain at third base. He gets his first triple of the season. And now with just 90 feet away between him and the 7th run of this game for the Schooners, Tommy Jew steps into the batter's box, and in a 1-1 count, nobody out here for Mystic. A grand slam by Nick Michelli brought home 4 runs. And Tommy Jew with a wave and a miss. Count now 1-2 will try to bring home his shortstop Trousdale over on that third base bag to make it a 7-1 game. And Mystic has really turned up the Jets here in this 6th inning. Here comes the 1-2 from Palmer. That one gets past Carter Aldretti, the shortstop, and it will be an RBI single from Tommy Jew. Coming home to score is John Trousdale, and just like that, it is 7-1, a Mystic lead.
And you take a look at how this inning has gone for Mystic. Well, 5 runs, and they have done it on 5 hits. 3 of those 5 hits have gone for extra base. I mean, it's really impressive about how this Mystic offense has come alive here in the frame.
Tommy Jew with a big lead off first base. Will Tromp back into the bag after that pitch. Catches the upstairs outside corner on Phil Capra. Capra swings on the second pitch he sees, lifts it foul into the stands as he goes into 0-2 hole. Capra 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout, a ground out. Has also reached by way of a walk. And what we thought was going to be a pitcher's duel, suddenly the scoring has been ripped wide open by the Schooners thanks to a grand slam by Nick Michelli. Phil Capra swinging on that third pitch in the at-bat from David Palmer. Lifts it in about the same spot. He placed the second pitch, foul and out of play. Count remains 0-2.
And for Mystic, 7 runs on 10 hits. 5 of those 10 hits here this inning.
And Capra really likes that spot on the stands down the foul territory by the third base line. Has now lifted 3 straight over into that area. Count 0-2.
And Palmer here has thrown 23 pitches, 18 for strikes.
So going is Tommy Jew. He will slide in head first, and he is in there safe with a stolen base. That ball was low to Capra, so it'll be count 1-2 when we get back to that at bat. But a nice jump by Tommy Jew puts him in scoring position, threatening to score the 6th run of this inning with still nobody out here for the Schooners. So here's the 1-2 offering to Phil Capra. He sends that one over to Carter Aldretti, who picks it up off the hop and sends it over to Andrew Dashback at first base for out number 1 of this inning. And the first out of the inning is recorded on Phil Capra with only 2 players left in this Schooners lineup to not receive an at-bat here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, and well, here's the thing with Palmer is that he's been around the strike zone a lot here tonight. You know, it's not like there's anything that necessarily he's done wrong. He's throwing strikes. He's pitching the contact. You know, he's elevated a couple pitches now and then. But Mystic's offense here tonight, Jack, really has gotten the job done.
So just 90 feet away is the runner for the Schooners, Tommy Jew. He advanced to third base on the ground out by Phil Capra. And Brian Ray now battling, trying to get out of this 0-2 hole. David Palmer has jumped on him with that ball into the dirt. Dominic DiRenzo able to block it, so no advance to home from Jew. Brian Ray will try to make something happen for Mystic in a 1-2 count. That one is swung on into the dirt. DiRenzo settles and throws over to first base, and he gets out number 2 on the strikeout. Ryan Ramez will be the last hope for Mystic to try to bring home Tommy Jew over there at third base. The ground out and strikeout from Phil Capra and Brian Ray now eliminate the possibility of a sac fly play. And here comes the first pitch to Ramez. That one inside, almost got away from DiRenzo. You saw the jump by Tommy Jew. He thought that one had a chance to roll in the backstop. Not a deep backstop, though. Would definitely be an interesting play at the plate. But that one is grounded over to the first baseman, Dashbach, and he steps on the bag and makes the play unassisted. So Tommy Jew will not score, but the Schooners do put up a whopping 5 runs in that inning. Lead 7-1 heading in to the bottom of the 6th inning. I'm Jack Almer here with Darren Zaslow. More Schooners Gulls action coming up next.
Ooh, Merry Christmas.
And welcome back to the NCBL Broadcast Network. I'm Jack Almer here with Darren Zaslow. Mystic currently leading the Gulls 7-1. I'm going to kick it over to Cam McGuire for an NECBL scoreboard update.
Well, pitching has been the key this night so far in the NECBL. The Vermont Mountaineers lead the Winnipesaukee Muskrats in the bottom of the ninth 7-0. The Keene Swamp Bats lead the North Adams Steel Cats in the top of the sixth 10-0. In the bottom of the seventh, the Plymouth Pilgrims are ahead of the New Bedford Bay Sox 2-0. And the Ocean State Waves are on top of the Upper Valley Nighthawks 5-2 in the bottom of the seventh.
Thank you so much, Cam. Count 1-1 to Ty Duvall, the DH for Newport. He sends one well struck out into right field. Playing it off the hop is Ryan Ramez, and it'll be a leadoff single for the DH Duvall.
Great piece of hitting there by Duvall. That's what Newport needs, leadoff base runners. And here tonight, they have only done that one other time. So in 6 chances here for Newport to get the leadoff man on, they've done it twice. That's what the Gulls need to do. Win each pitch. Here's Nick Durr.
Nick Durr, the second baseman, is 2 for 2 today for the Newport Gulls with a pair of singles. Has a runner on in Ty Duvall over at first base. Nobody out here for Durr. Here's the pitch from Appel. That one low and out of the zone. Count 1-0 to start off this at-bat for Durr. J.C. Flowers, the center fielder for Newport, awaits in the on-deck circle. That one pops straight up in the air. Getting underneath it will be Solomon, the third baseman, and he gloves it for out number 1 on the infield fly.
Yeah, Durr just a little bit under that pitch. He's now 2 for 3. He's been excellent out of the number 6 spot. Big opportunity here for J.C. Flowers. Try and find the way to move Duvall around the bases and continue to get Newport back in this game. You don't need all 6 runs right now, although that would be great if you're a Gulls fan. Try and find a way to chip away. Keep yourself alive in this game.
Been a tough day for J.C. Flowers so far. Center fielder has struck out and grounded into a double play during his 2 plate appearances so far. That one catches the inside corner for strike 1 on Flowers. Appel trying to retire the third batter he faces here in the 6th inning. So 1 runner on in Ty Duvall over at first base. That one low for ball number 1. Count 1-1 to J.C. Flowers. 1 away here for Newport in the 6th inning. Nick Durr flew out on the last at-bat to the third baseman, Ryan Solomon. That one catches the low and inside corner for strike number 2, as having the advantage now is Mike Appel over J.C. Flowers in this 1-2 count.
Well, Appel working both sides of the plate with that fastball, and then has the confidence to throw that curveball in pretty much any count.
That one right down the middle for a strikeout, and I think Flowers knew that. He couldn't have thrown it any more in the zone, and it will be strikeout number 2 for Flowers. He drops to 0-3 on the day with Carter Aldretti up to the plate. Aldretti was threatening to score an inning ago over at third base, actually threatening to tie this game up at 2 as he stole second and then advanced to third off a single. But now we'll have no opportunity to tie a game up here as Schooners jumped out to a 7-1 lead in the top of the 6th. Aldretti 1 for 2 on the day with that aforementioned single as well as a strikeout. He's got a man on first, 2 outs now for the Newport Gulls. Appel deals, that one catches the inside corner for strike 1. Appel really working the inside corner on these righty batters.
Hey, Jack, that's what I'm talking about. He's not afraid to throw that curveball in any count, and that really takes a lot of confidence.
There's the 0-1 pitch. That one into the dirt. Nice block by Phil Capra will hold Ty Duvall over at first base. No chance to advance over to second. Count 1-1 to Carter Aldretti.
Newport with 8 hits in the ball game. They're being out hit by Mystic 10-8.
A big cut from the shortstop Aldretti, but comes up empty as Mike Appel put one past him for strike number 2 of this at-bat, and the count will move to 1-2 once again for the right-handed pitcher. Appel peering over at the runner, Ty Duvall at first. That one is struck into foul territory, will land out in the right field stands, but out of play. Count stays at 1-2 for the shortstop, Aldretti. Drew Archiolo awaits on deck. Should Aldretti reach? As here comes the 1-2 pitch once again. That one squirts out of the glove of Phil Capra, but picked up in front of him. No chance to advance for Ty Duvall. Count now 2-2 for Aldretti.
Appel really also working both sides of the plate with that fastball. That is a hard fastball that he throws on the mound.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one is low and outside. So Appel did a nice job getting Aldretti into a 1-2 hole. Has now loaded up the count with a couple balls. And we have a full count here to Carter Aldretti. Here comes the payoff pitch from Mike Appel. Looks back at Ty Duvall. Duvall goes, and that one is grounded down the third base line over towards the Newport bullpen. So going back over to first base will be Ty Duvall.
Yeah, Duvall's going to be off with this pitch, and something in the gap could definitely score him. That's something to keep in mind as well with Duvall getting that early jump here because of the payoff pitch in a 2-out situation.
So Aldretti now faces his second payoff pitch from Mike Appel. Going, as you mentioned, is Duvall, and he gets to about halfway before the foul ball by Aldretti hits the backstop, and going back to first base is Duvall. We will do it again here. Another payoff pitch, the third thrown by Appel to Carter Aldretti here. Back into first is Ty Duvall. He will go the second this ball is thrown. And that one will stay fair. Unable to get in front of it was Ryan Solomon on the diving attempt. It will be a hit for Carter Aldretti off the full count with 2 outs. He pushes Duvall over second base as Aldretti gets aboard with a single, his second of the day. Drew Archiolo now up next for the Newport Gulls. Archiolo comes in with a man on first and second. 2 outs here in the 6th inning, and a huge spot for him as his Gulls definitely need some runs to help chip away at this 7-1 Mystic lead.
Aldretti's been excellent here tonight, 2 for 3. He's played very good defense there at shortstop. Here's the time for Drew Archiolo. Big spot with this offense getting moving.
That one upstairs by the letters on Archiolo. Will miss the zone for ball 1. 2 runners on, 2 outs here for the Newport Gulls in the bottom of the 6th inning. They trail 7-1 here in this game. That one upstairs and inside on Archiolo. Quick 2-0 count for Appel, who's thrown a couple balls recently. He needs to get back into the swing of things here. He came close to walking Aldretti. Aldretti eventually reached on his own accord with a single pass to third baseman Ryan Solomon, which trickled in the outfield. However, because it went down that third baseline, no chance for Duvall to get 90 feet away for another run for Newport. That one misses low and outside, and that'll be 3 straight balls from Mike Appel to the number 9 man, Drew Archiolo. Finally puts one across the plate for strike 1, count 3-1 to the right fielder. A righty-righty matchup here between Archiolo and Mike Appel. We will see what the Newport batter can do. He takes a big cut and misses and puts himself now in a full count against Appel. The pitcher gave him something he liked, a little elevated fastball, but Archiolo was not able to capitalize on it. We will have a payoff pitch here coming up. Going is Duvall, and swinging through the pitch was Archiolo. He came up with nothing, so a strikeout ends the inning for Mike Appel, and we will head over to the top of the 7th inning. Mystics still lead 7-1 here on the NACBL Broadcast Network. And welcome back to the NCBL Broadcast Network. I'm Jack Elmer here, and I will turn things over to the voice of the Newport Gulls, Darren Zaslow, for the final 3 innings of this game.
Thanks so much, Jack. New pitcher on the mound. The Gulls are going to go to the right-hander out of Stanford. It is Jack Little, and Little's numbers look like this season for Newport. A 3.68 ERA. This is his 4th appearance all out of the Gulls bullpen. He has thrown 7.1 innings, has given up 3 earned runs on 8 hits. He has walked 4 and struck out 12. Opponents are hitting .286 against the Stanford right-hander. We'll get you also the final line on Newport reliever David Palmer, the right-hander out of the University of New Haven. He threw 1.2 innings, gave up 4 earned runs, 5 total runs on 6 hits. He struck out 2 and did not walk anybody. He faced 12 batters. So here is Jack Little on the mound entering his first full frame of work. He will go to work against Mystics. Bottom third of the order, Ryan Solomon, Andrew Gazzola, and Chris Winkle, hitters 7, 8, and 9, with Newport trailing 7-1 here in the top half of the 7th. First pitch from Little on the way. This one's skied in the air, left side of the infield. The shortstop Aldretti makes the call and the catch. 1 away here in the top half of the 7th.
And all 3 batters for Mystic in the bottom third of this lineup in Solomon, Gazzola, and Winkle reached base in that massive 6th inning for the Schooners. Won't do it again here as Solomon flies out, but Gazzola and Winkle, we'll see if they're feeling it as they are due up next in this inning.
Solomon now 1 for 4. Here is Andrew Gazzola. He is 1 for 3 with a run scored. Looks at a pitch low and away for ball 1. So this is Jack Little here out of Stanford. He works out of the windup. The high leg kick, the next delivery. Fastball misses low and inside. 2-0. Eric Miller got the start for Newport here tonight. He threw 4.1 innings, gave up 2 runs. Neither was earned. On 4 hits, he struck out 3 and walked 3. Miller faced 21 batters. 2-0 fastball runs wide. 3 balls and no strikes to the designated hitter out of Stony Brook and Andrew Gazzola. He popped out the shortstop in the 3rd. He reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. He singled and scored in the 6th. 3-0 fastball in there for strike 1. So the count now 3 balls and 1 strike on the number 8 hitter in the Mystic lineup. Newport, after an off day tomorrow, will be back at home here on Wednesday to host Ocean State. As this one is chopped to first, picked up there by Dashbach. He flips the Little, covering in time, 2 away. 3-1 if you're keeping score with us at home. Here's the first baseman out of UConn in Chris Winkle. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He's reached on 2 errors and has scored 2 runs. He also grounded out to third base in the 3rd inning. We're in the top half of the 7th. 2 outs, the base is empty. 7-1 Mystic leads here on Christmas in July night at the ballpark. Winkle bats on the left side. First pitch from Little. Changeup misses off the outside corner for ball 1. All fans who brought a new toy to the ballpark were given free admission here to tonight's game, courtesy of Newport Gulls baseball. Little holds the black glove in front of his face. He slowly winds and fires the 1-0. This one grounded to first. Picked up there on the forehand by Dashbach. Takes it to the bag himself, and the inning is over. It's a perfect frame from Jack Little as Chris Winkle is retired. 3 unassisted. For Mystic, no runs, no hits, no Newport errors, none left aboard. Let's stretch and go to the bottom half of inning number 7 with your score. Mystic 7, Newport 1, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Cardines Field Opera Company, join me in a full blossom rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball. Let's hear it. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ball. By the symphonies and candles, I don't care if I ever get that chorus to all the if they don't get it's a shame, or it's 1, 2, 3, catch your eye.
New pitcher on the mound for the Mystic Schooners as we go to the bottom half of inning number 7. Mystic leads by a score of 7-1. They will go to the southpaw out of Central Connecticut State in Jared Gallagher. 5'9", 170 pounds, resides in Southington, Connecticut. As Cameron Meisner steps in, he looks at a first pitch for strike 1. Top of the order due up for Newport. Meisner, Dashbach, Dorenzo, next pitch in there for strike 2. And to tell you more about Gallagher, here is the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Almer.
Well, from one CCSU ball player to another, in Mike Appel to Jared Gallagher, Gallagher comes in. He's appeared in 3 games so far for the Schooners, has pitched 5 complete innings with 5 strikeouts, allowed no hits, no walks, and has a completely 0 ERA, allowing an opposing on-base percentage of just .059 as he hit 1 batter in a win against Newport.
Meisner fouled off the 0-2 pitch to stay alive. He looks at an inside curveball there for ball 1. We will get you the final line on Mystics' right-handed reliever in Mike Appel out of Central Connecticut State through 2 scoreless innings, struck out 4, walked 1 on 3 hits. 1-2 to Meisner, line drive, base hit, right field. How about Cameron Meisner here tonight? He is 3 for 4. Leadoff single here in the bottom half of the 7th brings up the first baseman, Andrew Dashbach. He is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a ground out. So Newport here just trying to stay alive in the ball game. And here's Andrew Dashbach, the NECBL Player of the Week. Entering play here tonight, Dashbach was hitting .380 with 4 home runs. That .380 batting average was good for number 3 in the New England Collegiate Baseball League. Dashbach bats from the right side. He swings the all-black bat, the blue and orange batting gloves. First pitch, absolutely drilled. Deep center field, backtracking is Jew to the fence, looks up. It's a Gulls goner off the bat of Andrew Dashbach. A 2-run home run here in the bottom half of the 7th. It's Dashbach's 5th home run of the season. It's now 7-3 Mystic.
Wow, that was an absolute moonshot by Dashbach. Lifted up all the way higher than the houses in the outfield and drops well over that center field wall. Dashbach has the Gulls creeping closer here. Allowing his first run of the season is Jared Gallagher on that Dashbach homer.
Well, there you go. That may spark this Newport offense. Second home run of the ball game. Tyler Green hit a solo home run in the 4th to tie the game at 1. Here's Andrew Dashbach giving Newport some much-needed offensive power. And this is Dominic Dorenzo. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a ground out, and a walk. He bats from the right side. First pitch from Gallagher misses low for ball 1. So it's now 7-3 Mystic. Bottom 7, no outs. The base is empty here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Next pitch from Gallagher. This one line in the air, right center field. Going to his left is Jew, and he'll play it on a hop. 3 hits in a row for Newport. This one a no-out single for Dominic Dorenzo. He's aboard for the third baseman, Tyler Green. He's now 1 for 3 with a solo home run and 2 strikeouts. Newport in business. And for Dorenzo, that is his first hit as a Newport Gull.
And that's the first 3 hits that have been allowed by Jared Gallagher all season coming in succession. And we'll see if he's a little bit rattled after giving up that 2-run shot. Expect him to bounce back into form pretty quickly. Having a talk with pitching coach Dennis Long, trying to get himself settled down here in this game.
So we'll see what Tyler Green can do. He bats here in the bottom half of the 7th. No outs, a runner on first. 7-3. Mystic leads Newport, though, gaining momentum. The Gulls currently out-hitting Mystic 12-10. But Newport's 3 errors to Mystic's clean slate on defense, that's been the difference thus far. First pitch to Tyler Green, taken down and in for ball 1. So thus far for Gallagher, he has thrown 9 pitches. 6 of them have been for strikes. But Newport already with 3 hits off of him. The 1-0. Curveball misses inside once again. 2 balls and no strikes on Tyler Green. Stands tall from the right side with his back foot on the back line in the right-handed batter's box. That has worn away here in the bottom half of the 7th. He wears the white batting gloves. Next pitch, check swing on a curveball. They say he went around. It's now 2-1. Gallagher works out of the stretch from the first base side of the rubber. Tucks the glove around that front hip area as he gets the sign from Capra. Now sets at the letters, the 2-1. Rushes Green off the plate, 3 balls and 1 strike. Once again, Gallagher going to the curveball there. Newport offensively finding a rhythm here in the bottom half of the 7th. Already 2 runs on 3 hits. Dorenzo is aboard at first base. He's being held on by Winkle. The 3-1 from Gallagher. Skied in the air. Right center field coming into his left as Jew reaches up. Makes the one-handed catch for out number 1.
Nice job by Tyler Green. He got a lot of that one. Already has a home run in this game, but not enough to leave this ballpark. Tommy Jew able to get underneath it and put away the first out of this inning.
Well, here is Ty Duvall, the designated hitter out of Vanderbilt. He is 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a line out to the first baseman Winkle back in the 2nd. He bats from the left side. First pitch from Gallagher. Fastball runs off the outer edge for ball 1. Newport here trying to continue to decrease this deficit. 1-0 pitch. Curveball called strike on the inside corner, 1-1. Excellent pitch there from Gallagher. Off of first base is Dominic Dorenzo, the catcher out of Oklahoma, singled after Andrew Dashbach's 2-run home run to score Cameron Meisner, who led off the frame with a single. 1-1. Misses up and away to Duvall. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nick Dura waits on deck. He's 2 for 3 here tonight, the second baseman out of Florida State. Could be up here in a big spot. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count to Duvall. Gallagher's pitch. Misses low, 3-1. Gallagher thus far, to put things in perspective for you, through a third of an inning of work, he has thrown 17 pitches, 9 of which have been for strikes. He gets his sign from Capra, who sets the target low and away. 3-1. Misses up and away for ball 4, so nice job by Ty Duvall. He works a 1-out walk. To second base goes Dom Dorenzo. And there's runners on first and second for Nick Durr, the second baseman out of Florida State. He is 2 for 3 here tonight.
And it seemed like Jared Gallagher was trying to locate all of those pitches in the same area again and again, trying to get that upstairs outside corner on Ty Duvall. Missed 3 straight times, and the last one resulted in the walk for Duvall.
So Durr steps in from the right side, has the white arm sleeve on that right arm, the elbow guard on the front side elbow. Gallagher deals. Curveball in there for strike 1 on the inside black. 0-1 on Nick Durr. Bottom 7, 1 away. 7-3, Mystic leads over Newport with runners on first and second. Off of first is Duvall, he walked. Off of second is Dorenzo, he singled. And the 0-1 from the southpaw Gallagher. Check swing by Durr. They say he went around, it's 0-2.
Nice job by Jared Gallagher to battle back in this at-bat after giving up the walk to Ty Duvall. Gets Mike Dern an 0-2 count.
So we'll see what Gallagher decides to go with here. It's a Central Connecticut State, Florida State battle. Lefty-righty, Gallagher against Durr. The pitch fouled off the front foot of Durr as he stays alive, still 0-2.
Phil Capra made a nice barehanded catch off that foul ball. Didn't really mean anything, but it was just kind of cool to watch.
Cameron Meisner led off the inning with a single. He scored on Andrew Dashbach's 2-run home run. Dominic Dorenzo singled. Tyler Green flew out to right field. Ty Duvall walked. The runners on first and second set the scene here for Nick Durr with 1 away. The 0-2. In the dirt. Great block. Trying to go from second to third is Dorenzo, and he beats the throw from Capra. It's a great read from Dorenzo. Behind him going to second base is Duvall. Newport in business here in the bottom half of the 7th for Nick Durr. It's a 1-2 count to the Florida State second baseman.
That's just some silly errors by the Schooners, you know, allowing that walk to now push the runner over to second, and then you get the double steal attempt, which now has you with 2 runners in scoring position, and that 4-run lead not looking so safe anymore.
1-2 curveball gets away from Capra, trying to score is Dorenzo. He beats Capra's throw to home plate. It gets away from Gallagher. It's picked up by Winkle there along the first base line. Going to third is Duvall. Great job by Dominic Dorenzo. He scores there on the wild pitch. It's now 7-4 Mystic.
And we were in a game a couple days ago against the Danbury Westerners where Danbury hung 7 runs on Mystic. Mystic had nothing going offensively. 7-0 win, or looked to be in line for a 7-0 win. And Danbury coach just said, it's the NECBL, anything can happen.
3-2 chop to third, gets away from Solomon. He can't make the play. Coming in to score is Duvall. We'll see how they want to rule it. It's going to be an error on Solomon. It's now 7-5 Mystic. Newport with 4 runs here in the frame as Nick Durr reaches on the E5. So it brings the tying run up to the plate in J.C. Flowers, and they're going to pinch hit for him. They're going to bring in Liam O'Regan out of Elon. He will pinch hit for J.C. Flowers. He finishes 0 for 3 here tonight. So O'Regan will pinch hit for J.C. Flowers, and this is a huge spot. O'Regan this year hitting 143 with 4 home runs. As Gallagher will check up over there on Durr. He's back in safely. Thus far for Liam O'Regan out of Elon, this season, he is 6 for 42, but 4 of his 6 hits have been for home runs as he looks at a fastball below the knees for ball 1. 7-5 Mystic leads. Bottom 7, 1 away. A runner on first in Nick Durr. He reached on an error by the third baseman Solomon. 7-5 Mystic out in front of Newport here, but the Gulls already with 4 runs in this inning. Gallagher once again will throw over to first. Back in, standing up, is Nick Durr. The lights shine brightly here at the ballpark. The trees continue to overhang the left center field, the center field, and right center field fences. And the 1-0 pitch. Durr goes. Pitch a called strike. Throw to second from Capra. Not in time. Stolen base for Nick Durr. He's in scoring position.
And that was just not a good throw by catcher Phil Capra. Bounces into the dirt and away from Nick Michele. Michele did all he could to try to tag out the runner stealing, but Capra just really didn't put a good throw on the mark and was late delivering it over to second base.
Durr off of second. Takes the walking lead. Gallagher gets his sign from Capra, sets at the letters. The 2-0. Fouled straight back. O'Regan just missed it, 2-1.
Gulls bringing in some power with O'Regan on those 4 hits, all for homers. Trying to get him to push them within a run here, down 7-5.
Count 1-2 on O'Regan. Gallagher sets and deals. This one in the dirt. It gets away from Capra to third base. Will go Nick Durr. We'll see how they want to rule that. It's going to be a wild pitch. And a big spot here for Liam O'Regan to try and get Newport back within a run. 7-5 Mystic leads here, bottom 7. All ready for Newport. 4 runs in the inning on 3 hits, a walk, and an error. Just 1 out in the frame for Liam O'Regan, pinch hitting for J.C. Flowers. The 3-2 pitches swung on there and missed for strike 3. So down goes O'Regan here for out number 2, and it brings up the shortstop in Carter Aldretti. He is 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a strikeout here tonight. The shortstop out of Arizona State, Jack. This is a big spot.
Absolutely it is, and Aldretti's really been on point already in this game with a pair of singles and a stolen base. We'll see what the shortstop can do here, and I wonder if he'll even face Jared Gallagher, and he definitely won't. Gallagher is already halfway to the dugout now.
There's going to be a pitching change here in the bottom half of inning number 7. 7-5 Mystic leads. 2 outs, a runner on third. Carter Aldretti up at the plate. A new reliever coming on for the Mystic Schooners. We'll get you his name and information when we come back right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We welcome you back here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It's a huge spot here in the bottom half of inning number 7 for Carter Aldretti. He will face off against a new pitcher on the mound for the Mystic Schooners. They're going to go to the right-hander out of UConn in Trevor Holmes. And to tell you more about him, here's the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Almer.
Trevor Holmes, part of this fantastic Mystic bullpen. He's pitched 11 2/3 innings over 6 games. Allowed just 6 hits, walked 3 batters, and struck out 10. He has a completely 0 ERA through his first 6 appearances this season.
Carter Aldretti looks at a curveball in the inside corner for strike 1. It is 0-1 on Aldretti. He is 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a strikeout here tonight. He bats from the right side. Has the orange and blue batting gloves, swings the all-black bat. 0-1 from Holmes. Check swing on a changeup. Did he go? No, he did not. 1-1. The count to Aldretti. Off of third is Nick Durr. He reached on an error, stole second, and advanced to third on a wild pitch.
And that ball just hopped away from Ryan Solomon at third base, the error which Durr was able to reach on.
1-1 curveball, sharp ground ball, picked on the backhand by Trousdale. Throw to first is low, and a great scoop by Winkle will end the inning. 6-3, Carter Aldretti is retired. For Newport, though, the damage has been done. 4 runs, and they do it on 3 hits. They leave 1 aboard with 1 Mystic error. We will go to the top half of inning number 8. Mystic leads Newport 7-5 right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Jack Little still on the mound for the Newport Gulls. 7-5 Mystic leads top half of the 8th with Jack Almer, the voice of the Mystic Schooners. I am Darren Zaslow stepping in for Mystic. It's the top of the order. Nick Michelli, John Trousdale, Tommy Jew, as Michelli takes a curveball for strike 1. Michelli tonight has been excellent. He's 3 for 4. 2 singles, a home run. That was a grand slam. And he grounded out to shortstop as he looks at a pitch away for ball 1. Now 1-1. A new change in the ballgame defensively for Newport. Bruce Steele enters the ballgame in Tyler Green's spot. He will be at shortstop. Carter Aldretti will now move to third base. So Steele in at shortstop. Aldretti moves to third base. Also, Liam O'Regan enters the ballgame. He is now in right field. And moving to center field is Drew Archiolo, as the 1-1 pitch missed low to make it 2-1, and the 2-1 pitch misses high. It's now 3-1 on Nick Michelli. So Archiolo now in center field, O'Regan in right field. Next pitch on the way to Michelli, misses downstairs and away for ball 4. Nick Michelli, the leadoff man out of Wagner for Mystic, has been on base 4 times tonight in 5 total plate appearances. Jack, he's been great.
He's absolutely been on fire. He's just finding ways to continue to reach base for the Schooners, and they've benefited from it. The reason that they aren't behind right now is because of that massive grand slam he had back in the 6th inning. So a lot of what Mystic's been able to do in this game traces right back to Nick Michelli.
So here's John Trousdale, the shortstop out of Alabama, here tonight 1 for 3 with a single, a walk, and a run scored. As Michelli goes, swung on and missed. Throw to second from Dorenzo, not in time, as Michelli's slide will beat the tag from Bruce Steele. It's a stolen base from Nick Michelli, and there, Jack, Mystic trying to put on the hit and run, and well, it did the job to get Michelli into scoring position.
It absolutely did, and you know, Mystic started off the bottom of the 7th inning with just a very comfortable looking 7-1 lead. Credit to what the Newport Gulls have been able to do. They come all the way back to make this a 2-run game, and Mystic is starting to feel the pressure here. Another big inning like that would lose them this lead. Trying to manufacture some stuff here with the top of their lineup in the 8th inning.
The count is 0-1 on Trousdale. Next pitch, fastball, misses off the outside black. Now 1-1. How about the offense in this game? 12 combined runs, 22 combined hits and 4 combined errors here between Mystic and Newport tonight. And Jack, we've talked about this throughout the broadcast, well, at least pretty much up until that 6th inning. It really had that pitcher's duel type of vibe to it. And then when Mystic records those 5 runs in that 6th inning, that really changed the complexion of this game.
No kidding. I mean, we were talking through that 5th inning that we thought it was going to be a low-scoring 2-1 affair like we are used to seeing from these Schooners and Gulls games. No team prior to today had scored more than 2 runs on the other. Now it's a 7-5 affair, both season-high totals for both squads against each other. And, wow, that 6th inning, all these big innings coming late here in this ball game have really changed the complexion of this game.
1-1 to Trousdale, misses outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Off of second is Michelli. He walked and then stole second base during this at-bat with Trousdale. He bats on the left side, the high black socks, the light blue and navy blue batting gloves. 2-1, curveball fouled straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We are in the top half of the 8th. Mystic with a 7-5 lead over the Newport Gulls here tonight on Christmas in July night. Fans who brought a new toy to the ballpark were given free admission to tonight's contest, courtesy of Newport Gulls baseball. Little and Dorenzo agree on the signal. Little sets the black glove, letter high, 2-2. Once again, fouled straight back. We will do it again. A nice battle brewing here between John Trousdale and Jack Little.
And John Trousdale is so good at that. He had struck out 6 times through his first 7 games, has only struck out 3 times since then. And part of the reason is his ability to make contact and foul balls off, really battle into at-bats, and sometimes force pitchers to give him stuff to hit into play or even draw eventual walks.
2-2 curveball, strike 3 called outside corner. Down looking goes John Trousdale. And a great pitch there from Jack Little. First strikeout of the inning, and for Jack Little here tonight, it is his first strikeout of the contest. It brings up the center fielder out of UC Santa Barbara, Tommy Jew. He is 2 for 4 with 2 singles, a strikeout, and a pop-out. As Newport Gulls manager Al Leyva will walk out to the mound, and we'll see what he wants to do here in this situation. The Newport infield will also join Little, Dorenzo, and Al Leyva, Newport's manager, on the mound. And we'll see what the Gulls want to do here on the hill.
Doesn't look like there's going to be a pitching change right now. Leyva might be trying to extend this inning a little bit. Oh, there he goes. It looks like he took the ball from Little.
Looks like the Gulls are going to make a pitching change. We'll get you the new reliever's name and information when we come back. We are here in the top half of the 8th. 1 out, a runner on second for Mystic. It's a 7-5 lead for the Schooners over the Gulls right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Don't go anywhere. More baseball up next. New pitcher on the mound for the Newport Gulls here in the top half of inning number 8. They will go to the right-hander out of Oklahoma State, Jonathan Heasley. And Heasley's numbers this year look like this: a 10.80 ERA. Heasley is 0-1 this season. This is his 3rd appearance. He has thrown 3.1 innings thus far, has given up 4 earned runs on 3 hits with 5 walks. He has struck out 4. Opponents are hitting .231 against the right-hander out of Oklahoma State. It's Jonathan Heasley. We will get you the final line on Jack Little, Newport's right-hander out of Stanford, here momentarily. But this is, Jack, a huge spot really for both teams when you look at it.
Oh, absolutely. Mystic would love to get another run up on the board and try to extend this lead a little bit. That 7-1 lead was cut by some excellent offense by these Gulls. And Newport would really like to inversely shut out the Schooners in this inning and try to continue their comeback attempt in the bottom of the 8th.
First pitch swung on and missed there by the center fielder out of UC Santa Barbara, Tommy Jew. Tommy Jew here tonight, 2 for 4 with 2 singles, a pop out, and a strikeout. 0-1 fastball, catches the inside corner for strike 2. It is 0-2 on the number 3 hitter in the Mystic lineup in Tommy Jew. Jack Little here tonight for Newport through 1.1 innings, did not give up a run. He struck out 1 and walked 1. He faced 5 batters. Heasley works out of the stretch, sets the tan glove, letter high, 0-2 curveball, misses high, 1-2.
Easy take by Jew. That ball was up by the letters near his eyes. Not hard to see that one. We'll have to work a little bit harder to battle out of this 1-2 count.
Heasley gets the sign from DiRenzo, the 1-2 fastball. A hard pitch, misses upstairs and inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Off of second base is Nick Michelli. He walked and stole second during John Trousdale's at-bat. Trousdale would eventually strike out. Sets the scene here for Tommy Jew. He bats from the right side. Wears the all-white batting gloves. He swings the all-tan bat. The 2-2 from Heasley. Curveball fouled straight back. Great job by Tommy Jew to get a piece.
Yeah, he just got a piece of that. Swinging a ball over the plate. Thought he was going to come up empty on that one, but the UC Santa Barbara product does a nice job just getting a piece of that one to keep this at-bat going.
So we'll see what Mystic can do here offensively. The 2-2. Fastball once again. Cut on and fouled straight back there by Tommy Jew. He stays alive.
Definitely a better swing for Jew. That one was more inside over the plate where he would like to see it. The pitch before, he kind of had to reach across. That one just didn't make enough contact, but again, Jew keeping this at-bat alive.
2-2 curveball, ground ball, base hit center field. They're going to wave home Michelli. Here's Archiolo's throw to the plate. It is offline, and it gets away from DiRenzo. Up to second base goes Tommy Jew. It's a one-out RBI single here from Tommy Jew to put Mystic ahead 8-5 here in the top half of the 8th.
And that is huge for Mystic and kind of deflating for the Gulls as they did all that work in the bottom of the 7th to have Mystic tack on another run and have a chance for another with Tommy Jew over there at second base threatening to make this a 9-5 game.
So here's Philip Capra, the catcher out of Wagner. He's 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts, a strikeout, and a walk. He bats from the left side and looks at a fastball off the outside corner. 4-1. And it all started with a walk to Nick Michelli. It ended a 6-batter retired streak by Newport pitching here in the top of the 8th. This one sharply grounded to second base, picked on the long hop by Durr. Low throw to first is in time, grabbed there by Dashbach. To third base goes Tommy Jew, 4-out number 2. 4-3, Philip Capra is retired. If you're keeping score with us at home here on the NECBL Broadcast Network, Brian Ray, the left fielder out of Miami-Dade, will step in. He is 1 for 4 with a single, a line out, a ground out, and a strikeout. Here tonight, Newport is out hitting Mystic 12-11. First pitch, curveball, called strike outside corner, 0-1. 13 combined runs, 23 combined hits, and 4 combined errors. 0-1 line drive into the glove of the third baseman, Aldretti, and the inning is over. But for Mystic, the Schooners push across, 1 run on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard with no Newport errors. We will go to the bottom half of inning number 8 with your score. Mystic 8, Newport 5. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane.
Bottom half of the 8th inning here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Mystic with an 8-5 lead over the Newport Gulls. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Newport Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Almer, and Gulls field reporter Cam McGuire. We are all here with you in the broadcast booth located behind home plate. Hitters 9, 1, and 2 due up in the Newport lineup. Looks like J.J. Blade will pinch hit for Drew Archiolo here in the bottom half of inning number 8. Cameron Meisner and Andrew Dashbach also due up here for Newport in the ball game. Once again, Mystic with an 8-5 lead here on Christmas in July night. And Jack, well, we've seen the pitchers duel here tonight. We've seen the offenses battle. When I look at this box score, the thing that jumps out to my mind is the errors column. 3 errors for Newport, just 1 for Mystic. Both teams have found their offensive strides. The defense, though, has been the difference.
It absolutely has. The defense has really affected what these two teams have been able to do. With Mystic, they've had a pretty solid day. Just the 1 error by Ryan Solomon. It was a ball that kind of bounced funny once it hit that spot where the dirt and the grass meets. We've seen one of those already, which allowed Nick Michelli to beat out an infield single earlier in the game. But for Solomon, it was kind of an understandable error, just got away from him. But on the flip side, when you look at what the Gulls have done, they've put up 5 runs. That's a huge total, especially against a Mystic team that is in the tops of the league in ERA. So those 5 runs have been huge, but the fact that 8 runs have been scored on them inversely due to all the errors has really hampered their ability to put this game away. And Mystic is now in a position where they're trying to finish it off. Trevor Holmes out on the mound right now. To put it in terms of last season's Boston Red Sox squad, you have your Craig Kimbrell, which is Turner French, your de facto closer. But a guy like Holmes, he's kind of your Brad Ziegler man, somebody who can pitch you those 7-8 innings, a good setup guy, and if need be, can also go to that 3rd inning and finish off the game for you.
J.J. Blade will step in. He will bat from the left side. He is out of Vanderbilt as Holmes is still on the mound here out of UConn. Deals a fastball. Misses just off the outside corner for ball 1. We'll bring Cam McGuire back into the broadcast here. And Cam, the big thing here for Newport, of course, is to win each pitch. But that's, not the easiest mindset to have, when you're looking on the scoreboard and you see your team is trailing by 3.
Yeah, Newport obviously big inning last inning with 4 runs. They're down 3 right now, but I think if they stay patient and look for the right pitches, I think they can have some success here.
After looking at a pitch off the plate for ball 2, Blade takes an inside strike there, now 2-1. As the 2-1 fastball runs wide, 3 balls and 1 strike. J.J. Blade entering play here tonight, hitting .294. He is 5 for 17 with 3 runs scored. He sharply grounds this one into the glove of the backhanded, stopped there by Winkle. He takes it to the bag himself in time, and there is 1 away. It's an excellent play on the backhand by Winkle.
And that's where that huge frame by Chris Winkle really comes into play. He's got that long, lanky arms going out to snag that hot ground ball, able to put it away and just trot over to first base to step on the bag and put the first out of this 8th inning on the board unassisted.
So here's Cameron Meisner. He has been excellent tonight. 3 for 4, 2 singles, a double, and a run scored. First pitch from Holmes. Fouled off left side, out of play. 0-1 on Cameron Meisner. We are in the bottom half of inning number 8 here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Mystic with an 8-5 lead with 1 out and the base is empty here for the Gulls. The top of the order in Meisner at the plate. Looks at a changeup there for strike 2. It's an excellent pitch from Holmes.
Holmes trying to finish off Cameron Meisner at the top of this order. Would be a huge strikeout for the righty.
0-2 changeup swung on and missed. Excellent block by Capra. He will throw to first in time for out number 2. Meisner now 3 for 5 after the strikeout. And thus far for Holmes here tonight, that is the right-hander's second strikeout of the contest.
Capra lobbed that one over to first base almost like he was shooting a basketball. Went high up in the air and then slowly came down for Chris Winkle to catch and record the out.
Here's Andrew Dashbach. He is 1 for 4 with a 2-run home run. Looks at a curveball there for strike 1. And what Holmes is doing really well thus far, Jack, he's keeping these hitters guessing because we've seen fastballs for first pitches. We've seen curveballs. We've seen the changeup. We've seen pretty much everything in his arsenal thrown in any count. But Dashbach absolutely crushes this one to deep left field. Going back is Ray, and it's off the top of the fence. Around first, taking a wide turn is Dashbach, and he's heading back to first, and he will beat the back pick throw there from Trousdale. Dashbach very close there, to getting thrown out by an excellent throw from Trousdale. That is a long single here with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 8th.
Yeah, I heard somebody in the stands yell he's out. It definitely looked like it was pretty close. We'll see the replay here as coming back was Dashbach. I didn't see it all the way through. Winkle, though, definitely close to making that tag for out number 3.
So here's Dom Dorenzo. He takes a big swing and a miss at a first pitch curveball off the outside corner for strike 1. Dorenzo here tonight 1 for 3, a single and a run scored, and a walk for the catcher out of Oklahoma.
Give a lot of credit, though, to Andrew Dashbach on that last at-bat to figure out Trevor Holmes, who has just been pitching fire like he does there on the wave and a miss by Dorenzo, but able to lay a hit so strong it bounces off that high outfield in left field. Can't turn it into extra bases, though.
0-1 fastball swung over and missed for strike 2. Holmes sets the black glove at the belt. 0-2 curveball in the dirt. Excellent block by Capra, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Off of first is Dashbach. He singled off the top of the left field fence with 2 outs. Takes his lead off of first base. He's being held on by Winkle. It's about an 8.5-foot lead over there. 1-2. Curveball just misses low and away. 2-2. We are in the bottom half of the 8th, 2 away. A runner on first, 8-5. Mystic leads. Newport, though, out hitting Mystic 13-11. Holmes out of the stretch, the 2-2. Curveball swung on a miss for strike 3. Capra will throw out Dorenzo at first, and the inning is over. It's another strikeout here for Holmes, and the right-hander has really done an excellent job here for Mystic tonight out of UConn. For Newport, no runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard with no Mystic errors. We will go to the top half of inning number 9 with your score: Mystic 8, Newport 5, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party.
As we go to the top half of inning number 9, it is an 8-5 lead for the Mystic Schooners over the Newport Gulls here on Christmas in July night here at the ballpark. The Gulls will go to the right-hander Matt Murphy out of the University of Rhode Island. And for Murphy this year, he's been excellent, a 1.23 ERA. This is his 5th appearance. He has thrown 7.1 innings pitched, has given up 1 earned run on 6 hits with 4 walks and 7 strikeouts. Once again, Murphy 1-1 this year. Opponents are hitting .231 against him. And for Mystic, the Schooners will send up hitters 6, 7, and 8. Ryan Ramez, Ryan Solomon, Andrew Gazzola to face Murphy here in the top half of the 9th. As stepping in is Ryan Ramez. He will foul this one off left side. It will get out of play. 0-1 on the Seton Hall right fielder, who is 0 for 2 tonight with a pop out and a ground out. He has also walked twice in the number 6 spot for the Schooners.
And Murphy's in a good spot to put up a clean inning facing Ramez, Ryan Solomon, and Andrew Gazzola. Kind of the bottom middle of this order. Those 3 have only put 2 hits together through the course of this game, both of which came from Solomon and Gazzola in that massive 6th inning by the Schooners when it felt like no Mystic player could do any wrong.
After missing with a ball, he gets a strike called, and this one sharply grounded to second. Glove there by Durr. Shuffles to his left, throws the first in time, 1 away, 4-3. Ryan Ramez is retired here in the top half of the 9th. Brings up the third baseman, Ryan Solomon, out of Northeastern. He's 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored.
Durr kind of double pumped on that throw over to first base. Just got a better handle on it, had time to do so, a smart move, and throws it over to first for the out.
Murphy works out of the windup. The first pitch to Solomon misses about shoulder high. It's 1-0. So Ramez out of the number 6 spot from Seton Hall. He is now 0 for 3 tonight with those 2 walks, as the 1-0 pitch to Solomon is a check swing, and they say that he did not go on the inside fastball. 2-0.
Surprising to see that call. Felt like he broke the wrist there, but umpires say differently. Solomon, though, in a nice 3-0 count here.
Yeah, Murphy falling behind there, missing down and away with a 2-0 pitch. 3-0 the count on Solomon. Next pitch, fastball in there for strike one. Thus far for Newport, 5 runs on 13 hits and 3 errors. For Mystic, 8 runs on 11 hits and 1 error. 3-1 fouled straight back, and the count pushes full to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Andrew Gazzola, the designated hitter out of Stony Brook, awaits on deck. He is 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored here tonight, a couple ground outs and a pop out. Murphy winds and deals. Curveball, strike 3 called outside corner. Great pitch from Matt Murphy. First strikeout of the contest for the University of Rhode Island right-hander. Here's Andrew Gazzola, the designated hitter out of Stony Brook. Popped out to shortstop in the 3rd. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. Singled and scored in the 6th and grounded out in the 7th. He bats from the left side. We'll also get you the final line on Newport reliever Jonathan Heasley. As Gazzola fouls this one off left side for strike 1. It'll get out of play. Heasley tonight through 2/3 of an inning. Gave up no runs on 1 hit. Did not strike anyone out. Did not walk anyone either. 0-1 for Murphy. Curveball misses low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gazzola bats from the left side. Swings the black-barreled bat, the tan handle. Has the back foot on the back line in the left-handed batter's box. He takes a big swing and a miss at an elevated fastball 1-2.
And this will be Mystic's last chance to put a few more insurance runs on the board. We've seen that Newport offense get hot in a hurry.
1-2 swung on and missed at a pitch in the dirt. Great block by DiRenzo. He will throw out Gazzola at first. Second strikeout for Matt Murphy, and that will end the frame. It's a perfect frame for the University of Rhode Island right-hander in Matt Murphy. He sets down Mystic 1, 2, 3 for the Schooners. No runs, no hits, no Newport errors, none left aboard. As we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning with your score, Mystic 8, Newport 5. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Mystic Schooners as we go to the bottom half of inning number 9. They will go to the southpaw, Turner French, a rising junior at St. John's. French, thus far this season, a .93 ERA. He is 2-0. This is his 10th appearance. He's thrown 9.2 innings, giving up 3 hits, just 1 earned run, 2 walks. He has struck out 14 batters. Opponents are hitting .094 against him. And for a look around the NECBL scoreboard, here is Gulls field reporter Cam McGuire.
2 shutouts tonight in the NECBL. The Vermont Mountaineers defeated the Winnipesaukee Muskrats 7-0. The Keene Swamp Bats came out on top 12-0 against the North Adams Steeple Cats. The Osher State Waves prevailed 5-2 over the Upper Valley Nighthawks. And the Plymouth Pilgrims edged out the New Bedford Bay Sox with a score of 2-1.
Thank you so much, Cam, and we will see what Newport can do with hitters 4, 5, and 6. Bruce Steele, Ty Duvall, Nick Durr, all due up to face the southpaw from St. John's University in French. So Bruce Steele will step in. This is his first plate appearance here tonight. Came in as a defensive replacement. He bats from the right side. French will work predominantly out of the stretch from the first base side of the rubber. First pitch from the side armor. Fastball in there for strike 1. And we talked about French and we talked about his numbers, Jack. Very, very good numbers for French at that 0.93 ERA.
Absolutely. Just a fantastic closer for the Schooners. He's saved 5 games for them and only blown 1 opportunity. However, he did come back to be the winning pitcher in that blown save.
0-1 is swung on and missed there by Bruce Steele for strike 2. Steele hitting this year 185. He is 5 for 27 with 2 runs scored. French sets and deals. Fastball runs high and inside, 1-2. We're in the bottom half of the 9th. No outs and the base is empty. 8-5 Mystic leads over Newport here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
An interesting defensive note. Caleb Foster is now behind the plate for Mystic, replacing Phil Capra. Foster with an absolutely deadly arm to gun down opposing base stealers has caught most of those who have tried to run on him. He's got an absolute hose behind the plate. Now in for the Schooners here.
So Foster now behind home plate, 2-2. check swing, but Steele went around for strike 3. First strikeout of the contest for French. There's one away for the designated hitter and Ty Duvall. He will bat from the left side. Duvall tonight has been excellent. 2 for 3, 2 singles, a walk, a run scored, and a line out in the number 5 spot here for Newport. He's out of Vanderbilt. 8-5 Mystic with the lead here in the bottom of the 9th. One away, the base is empty. French sets and fires a fastball, misses below the knees and away. 1-0 on Ty Duvall. So we'll see what French decides to go with here. The side armor sets and deals. Hard fastball in there for strike 1. The count levels out, a ball and a strike. For Mystic, 8 runs on 11 hits and 1 error. For Newport, 5 runs on 13 hits and 3 errors here tonight. French sets the tan glove just above the belt buckle. Misses inside there with the 1-1 offering. It moves to 2 balls and 1 strike on Ty Duvall.
Turner French just very hard to hit with that submarine delivery. Can really fool batters with that release, and that's part of the reason he's been so successful as Mystic's closer.
2-1 slider, misses inside, pushes the count to 3 balls and 1 strike on Duvall. Mystic will host Danbury tomorrow at 6:05 p.m. out in Groton, Connecticut. Newport will be back at home on Wednesday night to host Ocean State on Star Wars night. As the 3-1 pitch misses inside to Ty Duvall for ball 4, so Newport puts the tying run in the on-deck circle. So here is Nick Durr, the second baseman out of Florida State. He is 2 for 4 tonight, 2 singles, a pop out. He also reached on an error. Awaiting on deck is Liam O'Regan. 8-5, Mystic with the lead here.
Let's see if Turner French can rebound after that walk. Not a pretty at-bat for the usually pretty solid closer.
First pitch, a called strike there on Durr. It is 0-1. Off of first base is Duvall. He walked. He is being held on by Winkle. Working from the first base side of the rubber is French. He dangles the arm as he gets the sign from Foster. A long pause on the mound. 0-1. Slider runs away. 1 ball and 1 strike on Nick Durr. The lights shine brightly here at the ballpark. Newport trying to pass the bat, win each pitch, and keep this game alive. Here's the 1-1 from French. This one hits Nick Durr on the front side hip. Puts runners on first and second. The tying run is at the plate in Liam O'Regan. So the Gulls trying to make some noise here, and we'll see what Liam O'Regan can do. Tonight's attendance here at the ballpark, 2,876 here on Christmas in July night. For those who brought a new gift to the ballpark, fans were given free admission to tonight's contest. We'll see what Newport can do here. The tying run is at the plate, and Liam O'Regan, he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. First pitch from French. Misses low and away for ball 1. O'Regan hitting 140 this season, his 6 hits. He has 6 hits and 42 at-bats, but 4 of them have been for home runs. French sets and deals. 1-0, Scott in the air, foul right side, out of play. It is 1-1. It is an Elon St. John's matchup, O'Regan against French. The sidearm southpaw works out of the stretch. Off of first is Durr. He was hit by a pitch. Off of second is Duvall. He walked with 1 out after Bruce Steele struck out to lead off the frame. French sets and fires. Swing and a miss there from O'Regan, and it gets away from Foster. To second base goes Durr. To third base goes Duvall on the passed ball. So the double play is no longer intact here, at least on a ground ball. 1-2 the count to Liam O'Regan. He represents the tying run. 8-5 Mystic leads. Bottom 9, 1 away. Runners on second and third. French sets the tan glove, letter high, 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down on strikes goes Liam O'Regan. Second strikeout of the contest for French. So that will bring up Carter Aldretti here with 2 away in the bottom half of the ninth. He represents the tying run. He is 2 for 4 with 2 singles, a strikeout, and a groundout. Huge spot here for the Arizona State third baseman. He started the game at shortstop. French works out of the stretch, gets the sign from Foster. The target set low and away. First pitch misses below the knees for ball 1.
This is a huge spot for Aldretti. 2 runners in scoring position. He represents the tying run, 2 outs, and moments don't get bigger than this.
The 1-0 from French. Misses low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. J.J. Bledea waits on deck. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to first base. Aldretti represents the tying run. He swings the all-black bat. Wears the blue and orange batting gloves. Stands with the bent knees, the squared stance. 2-0. Slider runs away. 3 balls and no strikes. French falls behind.
I'm not sure about that call. That one looked good from here, but just got a little bit away over the outside of that plate, according to the home plate umpire. Turner French struggling with his location a little bit in this outing.
Gets a strike over there. It's now 3-1 on Carter Aldretti. He went back to the fastball. Aldretti digs back in from the right side. French is ready. So is Aldretti. The 3-1. Slider misses inside for ball 4. It loads the bases. Newport still alive here in the bottom half of the ninth. Here's J.J. Bledea. What a situation it is here for Newport. Bledea here at the plate. He is 0 for 1. And it looks like we are going to have a mound visit here for Mystic. The Schooners are managed by Phil Orby. The pitching coach is Dennis Long. The assistant coach is Kevin Toro. Newport managed by Al Leyva. The pitching coach is Kevin Winterrode. The assistant coaches are Eric Degree and Xander Jones. As we have a mound visit here for the Schooners.
And this is just, a tough outing for Turner French and not something we're accustomed to seeing from the team's closer. And he's just been really solid all year for Mystic. Has only blown that 1 save, and it was off of a home run. So not even like he got himself into a position where, a couple hits brought home a run. It was just a home run that tied up a game. But here, all of these wounds have been self-inflicted for Turner French.
First pitch to Bledea, misses inside for ball 1. J.J. Bledea represents the winning run. Off of first is Aldretti. He walked. Off of second is Durr. He was hit by a pitch. Off of third is Duval. He walked as well. The 1-0 from French. Breaking ball misses inside for ball 2. Thus far for French in the inning, he has thrown 23 pitches, 14 of which have been balls.
Turner French, those 2 balls on the inside were very close. He gets the outside call there. I think that might have been a makeup call. That last pitch that he threw inside was very close to a strike.
Gets the outside strike there. 2-1, lifted in the air, shallow center field. Trousdale and Michelli converge. The shortstop, Trousdale, makes the call and the catch, and that's the ball game. Mystic is victorious here over the Newport Gulls by a final score of 8-5. Newport loads the bases there in the bottom half of the ninth off of 2 walks and a hit by pitch, but French is able to shut the door and help Mystic secure the victory once again by a final score of 8-5. Mystic improves to 12-7. Newport drops to 6-14. Don't go anywhere. The Newport Gulls postgame show is up next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane.
Welcome back to the postgame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Newport falls to Mystic by a final score of 8-5. Mystic improves to 12-7 overall. Newport falls to 6-14 on the season. The loss tonight will go to Newport starter out of Stanford and Eric Miller. He threw 4.1 innings tonight, gave up 2 runs. Neither of them were earned on 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 3 walks. The win will go to Mystics reliever in Mike Appel. He threw 2 scoreless innings on 3 hits. He struck out 4 and walked 1. And credit the save to the southpaw out of St. John's in Turner French. He threw the final inning scoreless. He struck out 2 and walked 2. He faced 5 batters. Well, Jack, when you look at this ball game here tonight, you got a lot of offense, 13 combined runs, 24 combined hits, 4 combined errors. The defense in this ball game was the difference maker.
Absolutely was, and those 3 errors by Newport is really what helped open this scoring up for Mystic. It's an 8-5 final, but that really doesn't tell the story. Probably would have been a game into extras had those errors not been committed by Newport. A lot of those errors resulted in Mystic being able to score runs, and Mystic just took advantage. That they did have that big grand slam by Nick Michelli, and then following that was the triple by John Trousley, who was eventually brought home. But, that's 5 runs right there, and that's really all that they earned by themselves. Mystic able to manufacture a lot of stuff off of errors committed by the Newport team.
Newport here tonight was led offensively by their leadoff man, the left fielder out of Missouri. Cameron Meisner went 3 for 5 with a run scored. He also struck out once in the ball game, also having a multi-hit game. Andrew Dashbach was 2 for 5. Ty Duvall was 2 for 3. Nick Durr was 2 for 4. Carter Aldretti was 2 for 4. Pacing Mystics offense was Nick Michelli. He went 3 for 4 with 3 runs scored, 4 RBI, and a walk. Also, Tommy Jew had an excellent night. He was 3 for 5 with 2 RBI. John Trousdale out of Alabama went 2 for 5 with a run scored. He also struck out twice tonight. Your final lines, Mystic 8 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. For Newport, 5 runs, 13 hits, and 3 errors. Mystic tomorrow night will be back in action out in Groton, Connecticut to host the Danbury Westerners. Newport, after a day off tomorrow, will host Ocean State here on Wednesday night for Star Wars night. For the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Elmer, I am Darren Zaslow. We are signing off here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. The Newport Gulls postgame show continues, hosted by scorekeeper Ben Maxout and Gulls field reporter Cam McGuire.
Yep. Start talking. Oh yeah, right now. Newport Gulls fall to the Mystic Schooners, a score of 8-5. Biggest difference in this game was a grand slam by number 2 of Mystic Schooners, Nick Maselli. Maselli with the grand slam in the 6th inning to put the Schooners up a score of 7-1. Overall, it was a good game by both teams. Lots of hits on both sides of the teams. 11 hits for Mystic and 13 hits for the Newport Gulls. Newport came back towards the end of the game. Is a little late though. Bottom of the 9th inning, bases loaded, 2 outs, and they just couldn't get the job done. I'm here joined by scorekeeper. What do you think, Ben? What do you think of the game?
Well, I mean, there's not a lot to really say about a loss like this. It's just frustrating because I feel that this loss was just frustrating because I feel that the Gulls, they know that they can play better. The 3 errors were really what killed them. It was just simple things that got them in the end. And again, it's been a recurring theme. I sound like a broken record, but it's always the big inning that has killed the Gulls. What feels like every home game here, every home game loss. And you got to feel for Eric Miller. He pitched certainly effectively, did not give up an earned run tonight, however, was saddled with the loss, which is ironic in a way, considering that the team scored a grand total of 37 runs in his previous 2 outings. So that's certainly frustrating. Obviously, Mystic's a good team, but game like tonight, this was a winnable game for them. And they even, all the way into the 8th and 9th innings, they had base runners. They were fighting. And that's been the case in every game. They have not gone down without a fight. But again, it just wasn't enough, and this has just been a recurring theme all season.
Yeah, we kind of sound like a broken record up here, but it seems like every game has kind of been that same thing. It's that one big play that in the end it cost the Gulls a loss. I mean, obviously in this one was the grand slam and then just the errors that occurred and then led to that grand slam.
Yeah, you have 3 errors. The Gulls lost by 3 runs. So that should really tell you something right there.
Welcome back to the post-game show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Newport falls to Mystic by a final score of 8-5 here tonight. Darren Zaslow here with Newport Gulls player of the game, Cameron Meisner out of Missouri. Cameron Meisner paced Newport's offense tonight, going 3 for 5 at the plate. Cameron, an excellent ball game for you here tonight. The offense found the rhythm with 13 hits. Fair to say one of the better offensive games we've seen from this Newport offense this year.
Right, yeah. You know, we all just kind of had the mindset of getting the pitch we wanted and just trying to hit it hard, and good things will come.
And you at the plate, of course, with those 3 hits, obviously you found the rhythm there. What'd you think of your performance, and do you feel like you're starting to see the ball better as the summer goes on?
Yeah, I mean, there's always adjustments that have to be made, you know, but I don't know, the more you see pitching, the more you get used to it, and, you know, you just pick your pitch out and you hit it hard. That's about it.
Newport falls to 6-14 here in 2017. What's it going to take, Cameron, for this team to find a way to turn things around?
I mean, it's no doubt in my mind we'll turn it around. It's just a matter of when. I mean, one of these days it'll start clicking because we definitely have talent, and we all know we can win. So just one of these days we'll get it.
Well, Cameron, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks so much for your time. The Newport Gulls post-game show continues next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Newport falls to Mystic by a final score of 8-5. The Gulls out-hit the Schooners in the ballgame 13-11. The Gulls were led offensively by Cameron Meisner out of Missouri. He was our player of the game here tonight. He went 3 for 5. But again, Newport falls to 6-14. Mystic improves to 12-7 with the victory. I'm Darren Zaslow here, field level at Cardines Field. We'd like to thank everyone tonight for who played a role in this broadcast. Our executive producer and director is Tom Lima. Our producer is Shannon Carlson. Our audio technician is Sam Salinger. Our on-site engineer is Dave Peck. The production assistant is Lucas Malley. Our social media coordinator is Shannon O'Connell in her last ball game here with the Newport Gulls this summer. Our statistician is Ben Maxad. Our field reporter, Cam McGuire. For the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jack Almer, I'm Darren Zaslow saying so long from the city by the sea.